Show, weekdays at 9 a.m. on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
My name is Mary Grace. I lost my mom to Alzheimer's in 2017. And 2 months after losing her, my dad was diagnosed. The earlier the diagnosis you have, the more time you have with your loved one. With my dad, now that I know what's coming, I'm able to create memories not only for him, but for myself. So when he can't remember, I'll remember for him.
For more information, contact us at alz.org or through the 24/7 helpline at 800-272-3900. Sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
These are all the things you would hear upon getting into and starting your car. Going wherever the road takes you. It's just, there was one sound noticeably missing.
Oh, man.
Remember, click it or ticket. You don't want a fine, and it just might save your life. So don't risk it. Click it or ticket. This message is brought to you by NHTSA.
Lowe's knows that no matter your paint or stain project, saving is at the top of your to-do list. Save now with buy one, get one half off select paints, stains, and primers from top brands like Valspar, HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams, and Cabot via Visa gift card rebate. Find more Memorial Day deals now at Lowe's. We help, you save. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. Offer valid 5/15 through 5/28.
Water is Arizona's most valuable resource. And for over a century, Phoenix has led the way in providing reliable water services. Wherever you call home in Arizona, we all share the responsibility to conserve for tomorrow. Watch your water use, especially outdoors. Consider desert-friendly landscaping and water-saving appliances. Together, small changes can make a big difference. Learn more at phoenix.gov/water and help secure Arizona's water future. This message is sponsored by the City of Phoenix Water Services Department.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. T&Cs apply.
Hi, guys. Jeffrey O'Brien here. Have you ever gone to HarmonSolar.com? Well, you really need to, because everything you ever wanted to know about how solar power can save you big on your monthly electric bill is right there. It's online. Through your phone or through your computer, you can learn about tax credits, the equipment they use, look at how they do things for businesses as well as homeowners, see testimonials from happy customers, and I hear they got a pretty good podcast, too. Check it out. Go to HarmonSolar.com. That's HarmonSolar.com.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM. Wherever you go, take us along. Listen to our live stream on our free Fanatic app. Download it today.
Quiet, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
Phoenix, you have found the spot. This is the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Welcome in. It is 3 o'clock straight up. My name is Randy White. Right over there, that's the tall Tennessean from Tennessee.
That's right. Needing no introduction.
Yeah. He's known in circles around the Southeastern Conference as only Triple H.
Well said. And it just means more, Randy.
And you are the fourth dimension, texting in at 888-368-1580 as we broadcast live in the palatial studios of Uptown Scottsdale of the CRC Broadcasting Network. Jeffrey O'Brien not in today.
Nope.
What I heard, what I understood was I got an odd text earlier today from Jeffrey saying, Randy,
I won't be in.
Hmm.
And he said in his text, I was up late writing Whiskey Wisdom.
Oh, was he now?
And I can't possibly make the show today.
Oh.
And so my thoughts are, and this is what happens normally, Triple H.
Yes.
And the Fourth Dimension, very much aware of this too, by the way.
Hmm.
When Jeffrey starts to write Whiskey Wisdom, he generally sits down with a glass of whiskey and starts to jot his thoughts on a paper. And shortly after that, he's 4 or 5 glasses in.
Oh man, dangerous number.
And then suddenly he wakes up and he hasn't got anything done.
Oh.
And so I'm not saying that's what happened here. I understand that he was unable to make the show today because he was up late writing Whiskey Wisdom.
So what you're saying is Jeffrey is sick. Wink, wink. Is sick, possibly. Wink, wink. No, is he?
I can't. I don't feel comfortable speculating on that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've been around Jeffrey for 30 plus years.
Yes.
And,
yes.
You never speculate because you just never know.
Right.
Jeffrey is an enigma.
He is.
He transcends all of these definitions.
I feel like
when people and humans
ask him more questions, I just get more questions.
Yeah.
You know, he's that type. He's kind of like my dad is that way, Randy.
Your dad is an enigma?
My dad is a true enigma.
Wow.
He's an enigma. I mean, I've got in a dance off with him a couple nights ago. You know, people are saying, a lot of the haters are saying, there's no way Mr. Hicks, he doesn't have it, man. He's old. He can't move. I saw that guy move. Oh, he can move.
He had well lubricated joints.
Oh, he does. He does, man. He can move once he starts doing the limbo. Game over. Game
limbo. Wow.
Game over, Randy. Yep. Get a couple whiskeys in that guy. Actually, a couple beer. Coors Light's kind of his cup of tea.
Well, he's a good man then.
Oh yeah.
He's a good man.
That's his thing. Like you're a whiskey guy. You
I
and
am a
Jeffrey
whiskey guy, but I have been known to down my fair share of silver bullets in my day.
You know, I see the whiskey in Jeffrey's office. I see it. I walk by. He's a big whiskey guy.
Oh yeah, he's very big.
Very big, yeah. Very big whiskey guy. Anyway, Randy, lots of sports to get into, man.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, last night, how fun was last night? I ask you.
Goodness.
Brandon fought.
Yep. Fat Brandon, as Jeffrey calls him.
Brandon fought.
Yep.
He showed up once again for the Diamondbacks.
Yep.
We were talking about that yesterday. Just how inconsistently consistent he has been this season.
Yeah, and a weird stat line. Like 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, all 3 of them were home runs.
Yeah.
0 strikeouts.
Yeah, well, he's not a strikeout pitcher.
No, he's not. Who gives up 3 hits and doesn't strike out anybody?
Well, Brandon Pfaadt.
Brandon Pfaadt does.
Yeah,
and, you know, since he wasn't K-ing people, I mean, we can't talk about this game without giving credit to the defense of the Arizona Diamondbacks. That infield looked like the Great Wall of China, Randy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They looked fantastic.
You know, you can count on the Diamondbacks for a few things, and this has always been true.
Yes.
They're one of their foundational walls, if you will, one of their foundational footings. What am I thinking of? Legs. Is
yes.
Defense, solid defense. They teach that. They drill that. Fundamental defense. They drill that into the young players' heads. They bring in people with solid defensive skills. Not so much their bats, but solid defensive skills.
You see, Randy, a baseball team is like a house. Okay.
Oh.
And the concrete floor.
Feel like we're getting deep here.
The concrete floor is the defense. You know, sometimes the house at the storm can come in and the house can get a little windy, but what's going to keep it intact?
Defense.
The foundation. The concrete floor.
Right. The concrete floor.
That's right. That's right, Randy. That is the Arizona Diamondbacks. Their defense is the concrete floor, the cement.
I will say this also: their offense has been pretty sterling this year
Oh,
as
that's
well.
a massive understatement.
Marte looked good last night.
He looked great.
Corbin Carroll again last night doing his thing.
Oh, yeah, I have some thoughts on Corbin Carroll. Cattell, I don't know if Cattell at second. Like, I saw him make some plays. Goodness. Some really good plays.
He is an extraordinary ball player. It doesn't matter if you put him in the outfield, if you put him in the infield. The guy can play pretty much anywhere. I haven't seen him play first base.
Yeah.
But I venture to say he would be a damn good shortstop.
Yeah, he would.
He would be an excellent third baseman.
Yep.
I've seen him play center field. I've seen him play in the outfield for the Diamondbacks. This guy is an all-around do-gooder.
Yeah.
If you will.
Yeah. He's an absolute stud.
And he looks healthy. He looks happy. He looks like he's ready to go. Jump back in full time. If Torey Lovello would quit giving him days off, geez.
Yep.
But Diamondbacks win last night. 9-5?
9-5 over the Dodgers. And conveniently, Ralph is unavailable for the show. What a coincidence.
Well, I mean, look, bottom line is this.
Yes.
The Dodgers they have some key injuries in their pitching staff again this season.
They do.
They have fallen on hard times offensively. We still know they can strike at any moment's notice.
Yep.
Look at what Mookie Betts with 2 bombs last night.
They can.
And then Ohtani hit one of his own, which, by the way, was off the plate. And he just reached out and touched it. And it went over the fence left field. Yeah.
Insane. Yeah.
So Ohtani doing what he does. The rest of the team looked lethargic at the plate.
Yeah, they did. They did.
And nobody was really aggressive at the plate.
Yeah, no one was able to get, honestly, they were making contact, Randy, but they weren't able to make really good contact. They weren't able to barrel the ball like they're used to now. There were 3 home runs, albeit, but there were so many ground outs in that game.
2 guys hit the 3 home runs, though.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, at least Ohtani was just, he's a stud. Like, that guy is ridiculous. And so that's a given. But the rest of the Dodgers lineup, like you said, looked lethargic. And, Randy, I got something for you. I was looking at the Diamondbacks lineup here because Arizona's taken a lot of grief this year, especially for a lot of people locally they have.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the positive for a change. Okay. Let's talk about the positive because we've been railing on this pitching staff. Yeah. Positive. Yeah. We've been railing on this pitching staff, but I want to talk about this lineup. The lineup that everyone thought was the secondary thing for Arizona. Everyone assumed, the Diamondbacks are going to be good because of their pitching. They're hitting. We don't know. Are they going to be able to generate enough power? Are they going to be able to slug? We know they're going to steal bases. We know they're going to embrace the chaos.
But they have to get on the base before they steal the base.
That's right. Arizona this season, 5.25 runs per game. That's 5th in the MLB. But I was looking at this lineup and looking at all these players' OPSs and realized that every single player is above a .695, which is usually league average. Okay.
Yeah.
0.695 OPS. For all you nerds out there, that is the league average. The Arizona Diamondbacks are the only team in the MLB that does not have a single person in their lineup below that. You look at the Dodgers, they have Conforto. He's had sort of a rough year. The Cubs have players below that. Like, there are guys who are weak links in some teams' lineups. The Diamondbacks right now, they don't have a weak link, Randy.
Well, they don't. Yes, but no.
Okay, let's hear it.
And I'll say this: Eugenio Suarez, although he's been hitting some power numbers.
Yeah.
But what's his average?
He is batting .215.
And there you go.
He's walking a lot, though.
Well, he's walking a lot, but he either strikes out, walks, or hits a bomb.
Yeah.
You don't see him driving. What I would like to see is like Corbin Carroll does. He'll drive one in the gap. He'll drive one down the line, the baseline. He'll hit a home run. He'll get into the power alleys. He'll kind of like Ketel Marte does the same thing. Power alley kind of guy, sprays the ball around the ballpark. Eugenio Suarez is like one-dimensional.
Yeah. He at
Lourdes
least
Gurriel Jr. is streaky. And now yesterday he was 1 for 4. He scored twice. He walked once. He got on base, had 2 ribeyes. hit a home run, had a big night at the plate. Oh, Rabbi. That's not going to be every night.
Yeah. No.
Josh Naylor, they're still batting him in the middle of the lineup, which I don't agree with.
You think he should be higher or lower?
I think he should be lower.
Interesting.
Gabby Moreno last night looks like he's starting to get his swing back, his timing.
Yeah, he's figuring it out. He is figuring it out.
They played Tim Tawa, who was at second base.
He's been good this year, man. No one really expected anything from him.
Played him in center field because they can't afford to get rid of his bat. He had a couple of hits last night.
Yep.
You look up and down this lineup, and there's 1 hit, 2 hits, 1 hit, 1 hit, 1 hit, 2 hits. Then you look over the home run line, and you got 1 home run, you got another home run, you got another home run. How about Perdomo too? By the way,
yeah. He might make the All-Star team. Heck, he probably will make the All-Star team, to be honest with you. He's batting 300. And not just that, one noticeable part of his game that's improved, he's walking 10% of the time. His OBP is 40%, Randy. So he's getting on base at a really, really high amount. See, look at these. Last year, you could have called the Diamondbacks lineup a little bit thin. You could have called it towards the end. This year, it's anything but. So you ask, what's the biggest difference in the Diamondbacks? Why are they doing so well this year hitting wise compared to prior years? Well, the difference is Alek Thomas, he's batting 276.
Yeah.
Pavin Smith, he's batting 306.
Yeah.
Geraldo Perdomo, he's batting 300. Like the top of the lineup with Arizona has always been good with Ketel, with Corbin, etc. But the bottom of the lineup is always, you've seen your weak links. They don't have that this year.
No, they really don't.
No. So
they really don't.
One thing to just keep in note with this, because look, basketball is about the stars. Okay. Basketball, the stars typically win. Baseball is the complete opposite. Baseball is about completion, Randy.
Yeah. Yeah. It takes 9.
Yeah.
It takes 9. It's not an individual game.
Yeah, exactly. The Angels had Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout and didn't win jack squat. Why? Because their team wasn't complete. The Diamondbacks have a complete lineup. And I want to talk about Corbin Carroll for a second. Because, Randy, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think Corbin Carroll should be in the MVP conversation?
Oh, absolutely. Right now, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Like he's been.
Absolutely. The way he's swinging the bat right now, the way that he's running bases right now, he's batting 279.
Yeah. Yeah.
His on-base percentage is up there. His slugging percentage is up there. At one time, he was tied with Ohtani for the league lead in home runs.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, he's cooled off a bit, but he's cooled off from hitting the long ball. He still drives the ball. See, give me 9 guys that can drive the ball into the gaps and are willing to hit the ball to the opposite field and move guys around and play solid, baseball.
Yep.
And I'll win every night of the week.
Yeah.
I will win. I don't care. Bring the Yankees to town. I don't care. I will win every night of the week if you give me 9 guys that are willing to play good baseball.
Yep. Yep. And I mean, so some things about Corbin Carroll here, because I was researching, I was like, man, okay, Corbin Carroll is noticeably better than last year, but why? I was wondering why. And I'm going to get a little nerdy on you, Randy. We're going to get a little. This is probably
get my calculator out.
No, you don't have to get.
Is this going to be math again?
No, this
Triple
is.
H.
It might be mathy. Yeah, it might get a little. The fourth dimension may not like this, but I want to ride this Diamondbacks hype train because this is a positive. So back to the question we were asking: why is Corbin Carroll so much better than last year? Well, his exit velocity is 94 miles an hour on average. By the way, top 7% of baseball. Okay. He's barreling the ball 18% of the time, top 4%. And for those of you that don't know what barreling is, it's the probability of you getting a big hit that goes and travels far and getting the right launch angle on it. Okay. So all of those, even his hard hit percentage is 55% of the time. And that's percentage of hits over 95 miles an hour. So Corbin Carroll is hitting the ball freaking hard.
Yeah.
He's hitting it hard.
He's made a slight adjustment. They saw something in it, and the hitting coach made a slight adjustment. And you will notice it from last year. His bat was slung over his shoulder when he was set up in the box. And then when the pitch was on the way, it was slow for his hands to get up in the hitting position and then swing through the zone. Now his hands are up, okay, and they're out kind of here, and it's just a millimeter away from the hitting position for him, where his shoulders swing through, the hands come through the hitting zone, and he's much faster to the ball. That has been the difference for Corbin Carroll this year.
And in times like this is where I wish we had a TV. So I'm going to tell people in the fourth dimension, look up Corbin Carroll's batting stance from last year to this year. Because like Randy said, Randy's on to something. He talked about Corbin Carroll had the bat right on his shoulder. So honestly, like Randy said, he couldn't get there. Now this year, it's vertical. So he can get there.
Yeah.
And one thing too, so I talked about the power. And Randy, you said it earlier. Last year, batting 231. This year, he's batting 280, man.
Yeah.
So not only is he more powerful, he's making more contact.
Absolutely.
And so when you talk about what's making Corbin Carroll so great is why was he batting 231 last year? A lot of that was the shoulder injury, right? A lot of that was. But he was also missing super low to the zone because that bat is so horizontal. So pitchers would often, what I saw, pitch high on him, high in the zone, he'd miss low, bam, strikeout.
Yeah.
Now that bat's vertical. So what does that mean? That bat, instead of being from a left to right degree angle, it's from a down to up degree angle.
Yeah.
So he's able to get higher in the zone. So pitchers aren't able to do that with him.
He's much faster through the zone.
Yep.
Much quicker.
Yep. That's a super analytical and nerdy way to say Corbin Carroll is on an absolute tirade this year.
Oh, yeah.
And it's because he fixed his stance.
888-368-1580. The text line is open. T-Licious says Corbin Carroll, first player since Eddie Matthews in 1959 with at least 14 home runs, 50 hits, and 5 triples in his first 45 games of the season.
Really?
Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Bruno Baller says, Norm, rest in peace. George Wendt, there will always be a chair for you waiting here at Cheers. Yeah. George Wendt changing addresses today. Average Joe, rest in peace, Norm. Yeah. Hey, Norm. Yeah. Baker's Cocky Hens says, Diamondbacks have and always will be the bird killers of the MLB. Randy Johnson made sure of that. Well, I mean, RJ did splatter a pigeon.
RJ did.
RJ.
Actually, I haven't even heard of this. Tell me about this.
Oh, wait, you've never seen. You need to look this up during the break.
Okay.
Randy Johnson bird kill. Just look that up and you'll see it. He was in spring training.
Yeah.
And he splattered the guts of a pigeon. A pigeon. What happened was he was throwing a fastball, and the pigeon he got in the wrong place at the wrong time. and we know that Randy Johnson is on target on time, and the bird unfortunately has also changed addresses. Let's take a break. When we come back, we've got more Diamondbacks talk. We've got some more baseball. We've got to set you up for the big basketball game tonight. There's some hockey on the way. Hey, man, stick around. We're going to have some fun. It's a Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
The Daily Blender is streamed live on YouTube. Search 1580 The Fanatic to watch.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZzzQuil.
ZzzQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZzzQuil nights. Explore our products at ZzzQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
Do you have $10,000, $20,000, or $30,000 in debt? Then listen to this. You may not be required to pay it all back.
I was drowning in debt.
I had over $36,000 in debt.
If I would have just made the minimum payments, it would have taken me 59 years to pay off.
Whether it's credit card, medical, or personal loan debt, National Debt Relief can help significantly reduce what you owe. In fact, debt relief payments can be 50% less than your monthly credit card payments. That's right, half as much as you're paying now.
National Debt Relief reduced my debt by over $27,000.
With National Debt Relief, you have a powerful team that knows how to talk to your creditors.
National Debt Relief, they got me out of debt.
More than 550,000 Americans have used National Debt Relief to reduce their debt. Call 800-414-4477 to see if you qualify to settle your debt for a fraction of what you owe. That's 800-414-4477. 800-414-4477.
Everybody, Mark Asher, back to tell you about my great friends over at the Lund Mortgage Team. As most of you might know, I'm a big fan of loyalty and longevity. I love companies based right here in Arizona that have been around doing some great things for a long, long time. And oh boy, has the Lund Mortgage Team done just that. In the mortgage game, they're one of the best. In fact, I think they are the best. And I've been telling people about the Lund Mortgage Team for decades now, and I'll continue to do that as long as they continue to take care of all our listeners, and they do that every single day. So you could be next. Call today, 623-875-9940. Look, the Lund Mortgage Team, they're mortgage brokers. That gives them the unique opportunity to shop your rate around. They've also been in business so long, they realize fees are not the most important thing. They keep those nice and low. Call today, 623-875-9940, whether it's a HELOC, whether it's a new home loan, refinance, you name it. They've got you covered. LundMortgage.com or call 623-875-9940.
These are all the things you would hear upon getting into and starting your car. Going wherever the road takes you. It's just, there was one sound noticeably missing.
Oh, man. Remember, click it or ticket. You don't want to fine, and it just might save your life. So don't risk it. Click it or ticket. This message is brought to you by NHTSA.
The Rich Eisen Show.
The draft lottery itself is the problem because their anti-tanking formula to give the three worst records the same chance of winning the number one overall pick, 14%. What it does is it doesn't allow the Wizards, Jazz, or Hornets to get the top three picks in the NBA draft. The best odds didn't even put them in the top three. So what are we doing?
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at 9 a.m. on 1580, The Fanatic.
Welcome back to the Daily Blender on this Tuesday, May 20th. It's Triple H and Randy holding the fort down. Jeffrey O'Brien recovering from a night of writing whiskey wisdom.
Right.
At least that's his story, and he's sticking to it.
He'll stick to it.
Yeah,
he always does.
888-368-1580 is the text line. Lost Toby says, Harris, you've never built a house in your entire life. I guess, going back to your story about the house, the foundation, and all that.
I have helped build a house, but I've never fully built a house. No.
Rocky Top says, Harris, can we talk about good Cam Ward has looked in Titans practice so far? Are you excited for me for this upcoming Titans season? Also, your thoughts on the University of Tennessee playing Alabama in the SEC tournament. Stand by, Rocky Top.
Man, heck yeah. I'll be honest.
I mean, we'll get to that.
Okay. I can't talk about it now.
No.
Oh, I feel like with Jeffrey gone, I thought I was able to do this.
I mean, we'll talk about it.
Okay.
I'm glad to let you. Firefarter says, why is Harris talking about barreling and edging? Is this code for something else?
No, Firefarter. It's not. It's not.
Diamondbacks dude says, you're speaking my language today, Randy and Harris. I'm all about the Diamondbacks talk.
Love it, Diamondbacks, dude. Love to hear it. What more coming your way?
I mean, Diamondbacks are locked in a 3-game series with the Dodgers over there in Chavez Ravine last night, winning 9-5. I don't like the way. Let me say this.
Go ahead.
I don't like the way Torey Lovello is using this bullpen.
Why is that?
I don't like the way he's doing. He brought in Murillo after he took Brandon Pfaadt out. In the 7th, he brought in Murillo. In the 8th, he brought in Scott McGough, who's fresh off of the what is IL? Yeah, IL.
Yeah, the IL.
And he did okay. He had a strikeout. He pitched a clean inning. So did Murillo.
Yep.
Then he went to Ryan Thompson for 2/3 of an inning, who gave up 3 hits and 2 earned runs.
Yep. He's one of those guys that I was mentioning on the Diamondbacks whole pitching bullpen that has an over 10 ERA. Three guys.
So then he brings in Shelby Miller to close it out for a third of an inning.
Yep.
And he pitches a clean third of an inning.
Yep.
I don't want to second guess Torey Lovello.
I am not a Major League Baseball manager.
Right.
But why the hell, if you've got these guys down and you're going to, it's obvious he's going to Shelby Miller as the closer for this team right now.
Right.
Why the hell, other than he's listening to the math geeks in the front office, is he going to Ryan Thompson? What's Ryan Thompson's ERA?
Oh my goodness, it's got to be like a 12.48 at this point.
7.50 with a 178 whip.
Okay, it lowered.
750 with a 178 whip.
178 is for a reliever too. Man.
Then he brings in Shelby Miller.
Yeah, whip is really important for relievers, by the way, because they're typically thrown into bad situations with guys on base. You got to be able to strike them out. If you're giving up hits, your ERA is going to be through the roof.
I don't like it. I'll just say it. I don't like it. I will leave it alone now. I am now going to leave it alone.
So what's the solution, Randy? What would you do?
I think if you had Murillo and McGough with clean innings, bring in Shelby Miller for the whole inning and let him be the save. Let him be the guy. Let him be the closer.
Yeah.
Ride that horse as long as he'll take you.
Yep.
That's my indication of how he should run the team. Why are you Ryan Thompson is a specialist, man. He's one of those, he's got that goofy sidearm kind of whip thing going.
Right.
What are you doing?
Yeah, the whole bullpen ordeal has been a concern for me this year for the Arizona Diamondbacks, because the thing about it is like, what if Arizona didn't have a crazy explosive offensive performance? What if they had a normal day at the plate? What if they had their average, which is 5.2 runs a game? What if they scored 5 runs? You know what happens? The Dodgers tie it and they go into extras.
Yeah.
When Arizona has a commanding lead the whole game.
Why do you want to fiddle fart around and bring in Ryan Thompson? Just go in and shut it down.
Too much fiddle farting, Randy.
You know what I'm saying?
Too much.
We don't fiddle fart.
No, we don't.
Bigs.
We don't fiddle fart. No.
Fiddle farting is an A-ball somewhere in Des Moines, Iowa.
Right.
That's where fiddle farting
That's where
takes
fiddle
place.
farting is. Exactly.
Okay.
Des Moines, Iowa.
Muskogee, Oklahoma.
Yep.
Clovers
Muskogee,
or something.
Oklahoma.
That's where the fiddle farting takes place.
Yep.
Not here in the Diamondbacks Dodgers series in Chavez Ravine.
Right. Can't happen. No fiddle farting here. It belongs in Iowa, where it starts. Randy.
888-368-1580. Moistwin says Carroll's batting stance is very reminiscent to Ohtani's.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, it is actually. He's
I
right.
think so.
I agree with him, because Ohtani has that vertical kind of like inward stance with the bat too.
And he's got the hands kind of out in front of him. And then as he prepares for the pitch, as he's loading up, as they call it, for the pitch,
right?
When he takes that step, his hands drop back a few millimeters, and then he's hitting through the hitting zone.
Yeah,
it's easier to take that lead hand through the hitting zone, guiding it to the ball.
Yeah, that's a good point, Moist one. Now that I think about it, he's definitely onto something, Randy.
Quiet Cannon says Torrey was bringing in Thompson in a low pressure situation to rehab him and get his confidence back. They had a 6-run lead. Yeah, but he almost blew it.
Yeah, he's probably right about bringing in why he brought in Ryan Thompson. He is still trying to find his confidence, but man, what's the price of that? If we're the Colorado Rockies, then I get it.
Yeah, exactly. See, that's where fiddle farting is, right there.
Right.
You fiddle fart around when you're playing the Rockies or when you're playing the Pirates or somebody like that. You don't fiddle fart around with the defending champs.
No, you don't fiddle fart. No fiddle farting. Exactly. And one thing, man, back to my original point on what he just said about the confidence.
Yeah.
And if he is right, and he's bringing in Ryan Thompson just solely for a confidence boost, if you're the Colorado Rockies and you've got at this point, or the Chicago White Sox, and you've got nothing to play for, and you're just building for the future. Okay, I get it. The Arizona Diamondbacks, however, they're competing for the playoffs.
Yeah.
They're one of the 12 highest paid rosters in the MLB. It's rare. You can say that for an Arizona Diamondbacks baseball team, but they're here to win now, Randy. And so it's got to be like, at what cost do you want to bring in a guy for his confidence? I don't want to question Torrey Torrey's a great manager. He gets fantastic results.
Is he though?
I think he is.
He?
I think he is. Oh, this is where we disagree.
Is
I
he?
think he's a good manager.
I think he has his limitations, and I think one of them is use of a bullpen.
Okay, that can be
I think
something.
his use of a bullpen is miserable.
Yeah, and getting rid of the previous pitching coach has not looked great.
Oh,
so
Brent
far.
Strom is a legend in this
Mhm.
game and will be
Mhm.
in the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that is not look
50-year man in the game, and you bring in some guy Kaplan from Notre Dame because he look what's happened to this pitching staff.
Yeah.
I don't want to get off and start blaming Kaplan for the problems with the pitching staff because I don't know. I'm not in the locker room, but I will say this.
Yeah.
Brent Strom is. How do you replace a Brent Strom?
You don't.
I'm
What
sorry,
he did at
you
the
can't.
Astros too. Like he was
Thank you.
phenomenal there.
Thank you. Only the Astros are world champions. I mean,
Yeah,
this guy has got more hardware from baseball than Dones has back pills. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's
Yeah.
got rings and trophies all over the place.
Yep.
And you bring in Kaplan, and I don't know if it was a good move. I'll be honest with you.
Mhm.
I'm just right now. The 2863 says your mom plays first base, Quebec.
Good
What?
one. I don't know.
Slow
Not
Mo
sure.
Zo says, love me some fiddle faddle. No, I said fiddle farting.
Yeah.
Fiddle farting.
Yeah, come on. Let's use our ears, folks. Let's use our ears. Yep.
Moist one, I can't do that. Moist
Uh-oh.
one. Why?
Mm.
I can't do that kind of fiddling.
See, I can't see the text, but it doesn't. I'd assume it doesn't sound good, Randy.
888-368-1580 is the text line.
Oh, goodness, moist one.
D-backs beat the Dodgers last night. A game time again tonight. Same bad time, same bad channel.
Randy, should we keep talking Diamondbacks, or do you want to talk about the Corbin Burns thing here?
Well, I was just going to say,
go ahead.
Some of the things that I've been seeing, I've been noticing in this early baseball season.
Okay, let's
and
hear
it is early because it's only May 20th. We're a month and a half into the season.
Yeah.
It is been questionable calls at the plate, and I've been vocal on this program about we need to have more efficient balls and strike calls.
You have been
I feel
vocal.
like
Yes.
I feel like there's too much of a gap. There's not enough consistency. Baseball players, teams want consistency.
Yeah.
And there's too many egos out there driving around, making 300,000 large to call baseball games. And they make themselves too much a part of the game rather than doing a good job of calling balls and strikes. Now, there's a lot of guys that are doing a great job of calling balls and strikes. Don't get me wrong.
Yep.
But you have this percentage. I don't know how much of a percentage. You have a percentage of these egos that like to roll into a stadium and think they know what the strike zone is when they clearly don't have a clue.
Yep.
They clearly don't have a clue.
Yep, and they don't have the training.
And so I've been vocal about the ABS system. I think they used it in spring training. I think it worked out rather well. But I thought this was interesting what you found about what Corbin Burns had to say about the ABS system.
Yeah. So I'll read it to y'all. So Corbin Burns, he was asked about the ABS system, and they used it a lot in spring training, Randy. And he said, quote, there is a margin for error in it that fans don't realize, that a lot of players didn't realize, Burns said. So I think what he's saying, and if you read the article, it's a great article on The Athletic. I highly recommend everyone reads it. He's saying that there is a half an inch discrepancy, which half an inch does make a difference. Like, it seems little, but it does make a difference. That is what decides paychecks sometimes, World Series sometimes, right? And he was one of the 4 players on this committee, I believe. And yeah, he said that the margin for error was close to half an inch. In other words, the system could place a pitch that was 1/10 inside the strike zone or 4/10 of an inch outside the strike zone, and ABS wouldn't be able to properly call it.
Well, but at least it would be consistent, right?
I guess it would. So then that brings the discussion of, is the MLB, if they bring in ABS, going to expand the strike zone, Randy?
Well, I don't know if they're going to expand it. But
Maybe
I
unintentionally.
I think it's going to be a hell of a lot more consistent than going from Laz Diaz to somebody else behind the plate calling balls and strikes. Laz Diaz doesn't have a clue where the strike zone is. And he tries hard, but and he's probably a nice guy. Never met him.
Yeah.
But you hear these guys complaining about him over and over again.
Yeah.
He'll call a ball that's 3 inches off the plate. He'll call it a strike.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost as bad as Angel Hernandez.
Yeah.
Then you had Angel Hernandez, and Major League Baseball had to pay him $6 million to go away.
Yep.
Oh, because he was terrible.
Yeah. His I think call percentage was quite low. Quite low.
And yet, Major League I wish I could do a subpar job, and Radio Ron could pay me $6 million to go. I would go
that's
away.
my dream.
I would grab Miss Kim. We would get in an RV. We would travel. I would go see all my kids and grandkids across this great country.
Yes.
I would enjoy what God's green earth is all about.
Yes.
Oh my God. You'd never see or hear from me again. Never. Never.
Not even me? You wouldn't have me ring back?
I wouldn't listen, nothing personal, but good luck and farewell. Fond memories.
I would really have the microphone to myself.
But I think it deserves a strong look and a strong discussion from both the players union, at Major League Baseball, and the owners. I think they all need to get together at a table, put their differences aside, and do what's best for the fans here. And the fans want a good product. They don't want some hotshot egotist back there calling balls and strikes to stroke his good feelings, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. And that does leave some open room for Moist One, but we're not going to let him have it. I know exactly.
Wow.
Exactly what you mean. Now, here's my thought, though, because we've talked about this before. The union previously has had all of the power over the MLB.
Yeah.
Right? Now, all of a sudden, the union is dealing with some, I'll be honest, good old-fashioned capitalism, where a better, more accurate product was invented. The MLB can say, hey, refs everywhere, union, we don't need to use you because we have this product that, I mean, we don't quite know yet, but seems to be, the MLB, if you read the article, is confident that it is a lot more accurate than any umpire, any human umpire. So now they have leverage. So which makes me wonder, does the union conform a little bit? Because we talked about this in the previous show. A bunch of these refs of the MLB, they're lawyers, like they're doctors, they're insurance salesmen,
professional men. Yeah,
exactly. They're working in the corporate world, so they're not getting.
By the way, I don't know why there's not more women umpires in the.
Yeah, there should be. There should be.
I just wanted to say that. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're definitely onto something there. So, with that being said, these guys aren't getting trained 12 months a year. Like these players are off-season training, off-season regimens, all of this stuff. These refs are going in the corporate offices. So all of a sudden, the performance that the refs should be reaching, they're not, probably because they don't necessarily have the training. Well, and the union's response is, we don't want to give these refs, we don't want these refs to only have one job. We want them to be able to make more money in other jobs. I wonder if that changes.
Yeah, I'd like to see the referees in football. I'd like to see the umpires in baseball. I'd like to see the referees and linesmen in NHL and the referees in the NBA be full-time employees, paid employees.
Yeah.
Not necessarily of the league, but in partnership with the league and the players' union, so that there's no shenanigans going on like there is in the NBA with their the lottery BS ping pong ball hermetically sealed in a mayonnaise jar on Funkin' Wagnall's porch. No, nobody's buying it. And Silver, you're a schmuck if you think the public is buying it. You guys are rigging that thing. But anyway, I would like to see these guys be employees, but we've got to do something to make these umpires understand that you are going to be held accountable. And if you don't do a good job, We're not paying you $6 million to go away.
Yep.
You will be fired.
Yep.
You will be released and you will be let go. Goodbye.
Yep.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Yep. I agree.
Gotta take a break. Sorry about that. Gotta take a break. I got texts piling up on the text line here. Triple H and I doing our best to try to hold this place down.
That's right.
This is the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Get our free app and listen to the Daily Blender everywhere you go. Get it today, wherever you get your favorite apps.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The coolest summer starts at Target with up to 50% off select Sun Squad pool and outdoor toys and 20% off select favorite day treats with Target Circle. Discover inflatable pools and outdoor toys that'll surely make a big splash this season while you keep it cool and sweet with the most shareable cookies and frozen snacks under the sun. Hurry! Now through Memorial Day, save up to 50% on select Sun Squad toys and 20% on select favorite day treats with Target Circle only at Target. Restrictions apply.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
Do you have $10,000, $20,000, or $30,000 in debt? Then listen to this. You may not be required to pay it all back.
I was drowning in debt.
I had over $36,000 in debt.
If I would have just made the minimum payments, it would have taken me 59 years to pay off.
Whether it's credit card, medical, or personal loan debt, National Debt Relief can help significantly reduce what you owe. In fact, debt relief payments can be 50% less than your monthly credit card payments. That's right, half as much as you're paying now.
National Debt Relief reduced my debt by over $27,000.
With National Debt Relief, you have a powerful team that knows how to talk to your creditors.
National Debt Relief, they got me out of debt.
More than 550,000 Americans have used National Debt Relief to reduce their debt. Call 800-414-4477 to see if you qualify to settle your debt for a fraction of what you owe. That's 800-414-4477. 800-414-4477.
The power of Dell AI with Intel Inside is transforming the world of pro sports. Teams can see curveballs coming with predictive analytics. Coaches can use AI insights to help players improve their shots in real time. And fans can get more out of every winning moment with AI-enhanced replays.
Unbelievable! What a play!
See how Dell Technologies with Intel Inside can power your wins at Dell.com/win.
My name is Mary Grace. There are a few misconceptions about Alzheimer's. It's not just memory loss. It's the loss of mobility, the risk of falling.
For more information, contact the Alzheimer's Association at alz.org, sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Download the Fanatic app. News, scores, social media updates, and more on your smartphone, on your tablet. The free Fanatic app, available at the Google Play Store or the App Store, and at 1580thefanatic.com.
Yeah, it is. It's available right now. You can download it. It's absolutely free. And you can take us with you wherever you might travel this summer. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. I follow.
888-368-1580, the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Don Harris, dad of Triple H.
Yes.
Says we get zero D-backs coverage in Tennessee. We're all about the SEC baseball tournament down here.
Yep.
I mean, I would love to talk SEC baseball, but I don't have any information.
Well, I mean, I can answer Rocky Top's question about Tennessee going up against Alabama.
All right, so let's do that now. Rocky Top said on the text line, Harris, can we talk about how good Cam Ward has looked in Titans practice so far? Are you as excited as me for this upcoming Titans season? Also,
your thoughts on the University of Tennessee playing Alabama in the SEC baseball tournament?
Yeah, my thoughts. So I'll talk about Cam Ward first. I'll get through this briefly because I know we have a lot of hungry Diamondbacks fans just itching at the bit to talk. Well, we've given them their fair share.
Yeah, I mean, we've done good.
We have. We've done good. We've done good, Randy. We really have.
I think we have. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I would agree. Yep, Jeffrey's going to be proud.
Are you going to talk about this or?
I'll talk about this anyway.
All right.
I'm excited, man, because here's the thing about Cam Ward that I'm pumped about, and I did want Travis Hunter. I've been vocal of saying that, but sometimes, and the biggest failures of quarterbacks in NFL history, the biggest draft bust, a lot of it can be because not even because of the player, but because the coaching staff and the front office isn't bought in on him. Maybe they don't put enough guys to restore, to make sure he develops.
You go ahead and preach that, Triple H.
Right. That's right, Randy. The thing about the Titans, the front office really likes Cam Ward. The coaches really like Cam Ward. Ownership seems to like Cam Ward. So there's a universal agreement and buy-in. Did you see what the Giants offered the Titans for Cam Ward?
No.
It was like a first rounder, another like second rounder, and goodness, it was tons of draft capital. I'll have to research the trade exactly as to what they offered. But man, they offered a lot and they turned it down. So that tells me there's a lot of confidence in Cam Ward in that locker room. And that buy-in makes me really, really optimistic. So I'm pumped about Cam Ward to see what he can do. The Titans just need to focus on that offensive line. That's going to be a big thing for them. Yep. Need to protect him.
It's good to have a great quarterback, but what if he gets the hell beat out of him because he doesn't have an offensive line?
Yeah.
And what about if he has nobody to help offset the passing because you don't have a running game? Oh, and by the way, you might need some receivers on the team. So it maybe what I do is like package Cam Ward up, put him in the closet, let Mayonnaise Boy play, let him get the cream beat out of him. And then when you get some of these pieces in place, then you bring in the shiny toy, which is Cam Ward.
So Randy, I got an off the dome story for you. So a couple of my friends from high school that are at college, at schools like Tennessee and Ole Miss and whatever it be, they were at a gala in Nashville and they saw Will Levis there. And my friend, I mean, this is all his fault. This is unbelievable.
Call him Mayonnaise Boy.
He was saying stuff like that. Yeah, I probably did call him Mayonnaise Boy at one point in time.
That's
but he
mine.
got
I trademarked that. But.
Yeah, you did. This is Yep. This is copyrighted officially at the service of Randy White. We're gonna put that down.
Don't use it. I'll sue your monkey ass.
We're gonna put that down. I'll sue you. Yep. Using Big George, of course. Using Big George, who's good at that. He's very big and he's very good.
Yeah.
Yep. And they saw Will Levis and they started like taunting him, like, oh, you suck, which is, by the way, terrible. Like, I think they were asking for it. Yeah. And Will Levis, this is actually cool what Will Levis did. Will Levis walks away, and long and behold, the Titans offensive line comes up to him and is like, what'd you say? And these 6'5" offensive linemen, like 300 pounds. Another one of my friends tries to get in the middle of this. Is like, like, hey, we didn't mean anything of it. My friend's just being an idiot, and he shoves him and he kind of like barely shoves him out of the way, but it was like an unintentional shove. And he went like flying.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like fly. And by the way, like my friend he kind of deserved it. I'm not going to give any names, but he kind of deserved it. He was asking for it. So I don't blame the Titans offensive line for getting in. So, hey, it goes to say this Titans offensive line, they may be figuring it out on the field, but off the field, they know how to protect their quarterback.
Berg on the text line at 888-368-1580 says Florida Panthers over Carolina. Not so fast, Berg. Not so fast.
You think so, Randy?
Not so fast.
I think so.
I said yesterday, I think this is going to be a great series. I think Florida is a grinded out team. Yeah. I think they're rugged. I think they're tough. I think they take on Matthew Tkachuk, his personality, and Keith Tkachuk's personality vicariously. I think the Carolina Panthers or the Carolina Hurricanes, though, have a lot of experience on that team. And they've got some Russian snipers on that team that are pretty damn good. Nobody wants to talk about the Carolina Hurricanes.
Yep.
And I think before we start handing it to Florida, we better just take a step back. You know, I love you, Berg. Take a step back and let's see what plays out, because it wasn't too long ago. Carolina was right there in the Stanley Cup championship.
That's right. That's right.
Quiet Cannon says, Thompson, talking about the Diamondbacks last night, Torey Lovullo's horrible use of his bullpen. Thompson forgot to cover first base on a ball hit to first. See, I mean, that's I'm sorry, that's unforgivable. That at this level, that is unforgivable. There are two things for me in Major League Baseball unforgivable. Okay.
Yep.
One is pitchers not covering first base, because that is taught from the time from T-ball all the way through.
Yep.
And you even do drills on this in spring training. Unforgivable. Where are you, Thompson, that you forgot to cover the base?
You know what that tells me, Randy?
What?
And I didn't mean to interrupt you here. It's just a thought. As for one that has played the game like yourself, is he in his own head? Like, there's a possibility he could just be really overthinking, so much so that he's just overthinking in his own head, which happens. It happens when you lack confidence. And so,
it's still I'm sorry, it's unforgiven.
Right.
I can't forgive that. And for a major league hitter to stand there and watch a called third strike, those are two things, in my opinion, that are unforgivable in Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are. You don't, unless you're like extremely fooled that you were expecting a fastball and the guy throw you a hook and he just zipped it over the plate. Yeah. Okay. It better be a damn good fastball, or I'm going to be jawing at you when you come to the bench to have a seat.
Yeah.
You know, I'll be saying stuff like, since you're not using that bat, why don't you cut it into pieces and put it on the bench and take a seat on it?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know, use the bat.
That's right, Randy. That's right.
Watermelon, for some reason, says that's what she said.
Oh, I see what he's saying.
Not sure what that means.
I know what you don't know what that means?
Well, I know what that's what she said means, but I don't know what he's referring to.
Oh.
Slow-Mo Zoe says, why do umps get more animated on a called third strike? Aren't they supposed to be impartial? Yeah, but they're showing the stupidity of a batter to watch a called third strike.
I love it when Randy gets fired up like this.
Chosen One says, if Cam Ward's so good, why is he splitting time with the splitting first team reps?
Every rookie, by the way, doesn't start out as the guaranteed starter. It takes time. Like, every rookie is like this. So, you know what? I'm Cam Ward. I'm looking forward to it. I also didn't answer Rocky Top's Tennessee baseball questions. So I'll get into this briefly. I'm looking forward to UT baseball. I think I need more bats outside of Dean Curley and others. I think Cannon Peebles needs to get going. They need more from pitching outside of Liam Doyle. A little bit of a rut right now after what happened with Arkansas and Vanderbilt. But hey, you know what? We've seen crazy things happen in the College World Series. Anyway, back to you, Randy. Just wanted to answer that question.
No, you go ahead.
Thank you.
You go right ahead.
Yep.
Donnie on the text line, knowing that Jeff Coe's not here today, says, fellas, give me your best AU.
Do you want? I don't think I want to. That's it. That's the best we can do.
That's all I've got.
That's all he's got, man.
Donnie, good luck to your team. I hope the best for you guys. I think this is going to be a great series. I mean, you're the basketball guy on this show. OKC and Minnesota. This, to me, I think this is going to be a fantastic series.
Man, this Oklahoma City Minnesota series, I guess we'll talk about it now. We have a brief time.
Well, you don't want to give it all away. I mean, we're going to top of the hour, but listen, you do your thing.
I'm not going to give it. I won't give it all away. I'll keep you on your toes.
You could just give your best AU if you want to. I mean, I
don't know.
I don't know if I.
Because here's the thing, Randy. I made a bet with Don.
Yeah.
On this series, I made a bet out of confidence because if I win, I get a pizza. He has to give me a pizza. You know the satisfaction of getting a pizza from Donnie, especially after the taunting that he's done to Jeffrey. That'd be a pretty satisfying pizza to eat. Heck, I might give Jeffrey a couple slices and say,
I think you should.
Jeffrey,
Yeah.
we earned this together.
Moist one on the text line says, I'd like to get the cream beat out of Moist one.
Moist one. Not the time.
Average Joe takes us to break here. Carolina is winning. Berg's just rooting for that rat Marshawn.
Is he a Maple Leafs fan? Is he a Maple Leafs fan?
No. Average Joe? I don't think so. But Brad Marchand is he's that little ball of hate. He's that guy that used to be in the Boston colors that would just go around. What is he, about 4'3" or something?
Yeah, he's a little,
he's
like
like
a little tiny goblin.
A pesky little bumblebee type of.
Yeah.
Hey, but damn, he's a guy that can flat out play this game. All right, for me and Triple H, that's the end of hour one. Hour two, right around the corner. Come back, kids. It's the Daily Blender.
It's your captain speaking. To the passenger with the Mirror Fast Soft Chew, smart move.
No way am I letting travel constipation ruin this trip.
Can't blame you. Mirror Fast works fast, but without the harsh side effects.
Since I'm such a smart traveler, can I move to first class?
No. Close the curtain, girl.
From the makers of Miralax, new Mirafast soft chews work naturally with your body in as little as 30 minutes to give you a comfortable go on the go. Look for Mirafast at Walmart today. Use as directed for occasional constipation. Contains magnesium hydroxide.
It's back. The third annual Fire and Fairways Charity Golf Tournament presented by Kasai Japanese Steakhouse. It's Monday, June 2nd at Biltmore Golf Club. This year, supporting Alice Cooper's Solid Rock Teen Centers. Early entry is just $175 and includes goodie bag, raffle tickets, plus a fabulous after golf celebration, lunch buffet, and drinks at Kasai Japanese Steakhouse in Scottsdale. You don't golf? Well, then join us at the celebration for just $75. Sign up today. Go to KasaiFireandFairways.com. That's KasaiFireandFairways.com.
How did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you, all of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today, I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Malcolm is a listening learner, so he checks with Babbel's speech recognition to be
Precio.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
These are all the things you would hear upon getting into and starting your car, going wherever the road takes you. It's just, there was one sound noticeably missing.
Oh, man. Remember, click it or ticket. You don't want a fine, and it just might save your life. So don't risk it. Click it or ticket. This message is brought to you by NHTSA.
My name is Mary Grace. There are a few misconceptions about Alzheimer's. It's not just memory loss. It's the loss of mobility, the risk of falling.
For more information, contact the Alzheimer's Association at alz.org. Sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
If you're age 62 or older and own a home, this message is for you. Reverse Rob here, Money Radio's expert on reverse mortgages. Learn how to tap the equity in your home and increase the quality of your life by earning tax-free income while protecting your other retirement assets. Join us for our free Second Saturdays webinar every month to learn more. This is not too good to be true. All you need to do is reverse your thinking. Call me today, Reverse Rob, to learn more at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
My name is Mary Grace. There are a few misconceptions about Alzheimer's. It's not just memory loss. It's the loss of mobility, the risk of falling.
For more information, contact the Alzheimer's Association at alz.org. Sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
And welcome everybody to a Tuesday, hour number 2, as it's 4 o'clock straight up here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. This is the Daily Blender broadcasting live from the palatial CRC Broadcasting Studio Complex high atop the Safari High Rise in beautiful uptown Scottsdale.
That's right.
Right over there, that's Triple H. My name is Randy White. Jeffrey O'Brien up late last night. Got a
sort of an odd text message from Jeffrey saying he can't make the show. He was up late writing Whiskey Wisdom, and he will not be available today. You are the Fourth Dimension texting on the text line at 888-368-1580. Slow-mo Zoe wanting to know if you looked into that catcher's balk. Still can't find can't figure it out. I'm sorry, is what he said.
Yeah.
I thought we spent a copious amount of time yesterday on the broadcast talking about catcher's balk.
We did. I ended up seeing the video. It was a St. John's game. And yeah, a catcher, I believe, was out of position. And so they called a catcher's balk. Randy, I believe, is more qualified to talk about this than I am. But we did talk about this a lot on the show.
Yeah, I mean, a catcher's balk can be called when there is a specific point in time when you're trying to draw an intentional walk to give the intentional walk to the batter.
Yeah.
So the catcher has to stay in what's known as the catcher's box behind the plate as the pitcher delivers the pitch out for ball 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
So generally what you would see is a catcher put his throwing hand out as a target for the pitcher to focus on. And then when the pitcher releases the ball, the catcher then could just kind of scoot to his right and catch the ball for ball 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Okay.
Now, I will say this. You can also, if a catcher is trying to control the ball, in this case, Slow-mo Zoe said a catcher had used his mask to control the ball. If a catcher is trying to control the ball with his equipment, and it's a live ball. In other words, it hasn't been timeout hasn't been called by the umpire, which would mean it would be a live ball and still active for players to advance. Then it would be a catcher's balk as well.
Interesting.
So if he happened to catch the ball and then dropped it as the runner was going to first base, then if he scooped it up with his mask, that is a catcher's balk.
Okay.
If the umpire, the best thing to do if you're a catcher is time, Blue, or reach down and quit being lazy.
Yep.
Put your mask on where it's supposed to be on your face.
Yep.
And use your hand to pick the ball up.
Yeah.
So I hope that explains it to you, Slow-mo. So Donnie was on the text line asking us for our favorite ow.
No.
Ow.
I'm not going to give it to you, Donnie. We're in the middle of a bet right now. Which speaking of, Randy, do you want to talk NBA playoffs?
Let's talk.
You want to talk NBA playoffs?
Yeah.
All righty. And just because of Donnie, just because we're nice, we'll start with the Thunder and Donnie's beloved Timberwolves.
Okay.
Randy, I'm going to ask you. I'll give you have you give me a prediction. Who do you think is going to win this series?
Boy, I don't know. This is such a dream setup, I think.
Yeah.
You've got Oklahoma City that's young, and you've got the presumptive MVP. Was he elected MVP, by the way?
Not officially yet.
Not yet. Okay.
But I feel like he's going to.
And then on the other side, on Oklahoma City side, you also have old Stretch Armstrong. What's his name? Melville. Humer. What's his name? The big tall guy.
The big tall guy, Chet Holmgren.
Yeah,
the Slenderman.
That's what I said.
Yeah, looks like he's from the Nether.
Yeah. If he has a good
Minecraft
series, which he had a decent series against Minnesota this year, I would say that it's going to be hard for Minnesota to beat OKC. On the other hand, you've got Ant-Man, who at this point, I think if they're this close to the finals, you would think that Anthony Edwards is going to block everything out of his life. And be just completely solely focused on the prize at hand, which would be winning a championship.
Yeah.
And the way to get there is through Oklahoma City.
Right.
Then you have all the BART players on Minnesota, which, by the way, have a lot of playoff experience where
they do
OKC
now.
doesn't have as much playoff experience. So I I think the Timberwolves win it because they have experience, but I think it's going to be a 7-game series.
So I have Oklahoma City in 6, Randy.
Wow.
I do. I have them winning in 6, and I'll give you my reasoning. So Minnesota beat Golden State for a plethora of reasons. Donnie, one of those being Steph Curry got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But another reason was I got to give credit where credit is done. Anthony Edwards played his butt off. He played phenomenal basketball. He averaged 28 points on 44% three-point shooting.
Wow. I mean, that's a torrid pace.
He was making everything. Anthony Edwards against Oklahoma City this season shot 36% from the field and 32% from 3. No one guarded him more than Lou Dort. And against Lou Dort, he was 6 for 16 from the field.
ASU
I think that
alum,
is,
by the way, I believe Lou Dort is ASU.
Lou Dort, yes, Forks
Yeah, I
up,
believe.
Forks up, Arizona State.
Former
Yeah.
Sun Devil.
Former
yeah.
Sun Devil represent. Love to see it. And I will say this, however, Oklahoma City did not beat Denver at full strength either. Denver had some injuries. Aaron Gordon wasn't even supposed to play in Game 7 with that hamstring injury. He played through it, didn't look like himself, and Michael Porter Jr. was also injured. So it's not like Oklahoma City has been in complete cruise control. They squeaked by the Nuggets. So that being said, I told people yesterday that Oklahoma City will win this series because they have the guys to guard Anthony Edwards. Golden State does not. Right. That's the thing. So that is why I picked. Oh, you wouldn't believe who just walked in, Randy. Oh, with the sunglasses and
Phil the Thrill.
everything.
Yes,
Phil
yes,
the
showing up.
Thrill
All right.
is in studio. Look at him, folks. I mean, he looks magnificent.
Wow.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Nobody can see him because he's not on the Zoom
Nobody
yet.
can see him. He's not on the Zoom. He's not on the Zoom. I feel bad for the people that can't see him because right now he looks fantastic. I mean, he's got the whole shebang going. Anyway.
Wow.
Anyway.
I don't even know what you were saying, but I was
what were
going
you
to say.
What were you even talking about?
I was going to say I estimate
blindsided.
that I think Ant is going to be a man on a mission. I still believe this. After they lost last season at the very precipice of moving to the finals, after they were eliminated, you saw that look on his face. You saw the pain. You saw the angst. You saw the questions.
Right.
You saw the confusion. And I think now he's a little wiser.
Yep.
He's a little older. He's a little more motivated. And I think that Anthony Edwards, it depends on how he plays, but if he can average somewhere around 26.5 points a game, I believe that he can lead this Timberwolves team to beating Oklahoma City.
To beating Oklahoma City.
Here he is,
Hey,
folks.
There
There
you
he
go.
is.
Phil the Thrill. Yeah.
There's Phil the Thrill. We're all filled up.
There are some. Hey, you're not the only ones on this. Fine, on Tuesday afternoon.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Phil the Thrill is here.
That's
Yes,
right. That's
absolutely.
right.
But you know who also is here is Ant-Man. And I can agree with you, Randy. I think that he is certainly, I think a lot of people would take him as the best player, which is weird because Shea is the MVP of the season. I think it's all but a formality at this point.
I'm not in that camp.
You're not,
by the way.
Well, okay, so you wouldn't vote, but I think we're agreeing that Shea is going to be winning the MVP, right?
Yes, he will.
Okay,
He
okay,
will
so
be.
he'll
We're
be
just
winning.
talking about that. Yeah.
But that being said, I believe
Yes.
that Ant Edwards will be the best player on the court. And of course, if you have the best player on the court, you usually have a chance. The problem here is that we have the best player in the league last series doing all that he could, putting up, doing conductor-like things to where he was magistrating a masterpiece, pushing forward the Oklahoma City Thunder to the brink of extinction.
Did he
with-
just say magistrating masterpiece?
Yes, he did. And he
A
continues to do so.
magistrating masterpiece.
But Jokic did all that he possibly could to
Yeah.
get the Nuggets over the hump, and he came up just that close.
Just barely.
And he was shut down by Alex Caruso.
Alex Caruso.
Alex
Woo!
Caruso.
May we all have a glow up like Alex
Wow.
Caruso. If you look at
Yeah.
those
Oh, yeah.
pictures, those pictures from 22 to 20 to where he is now, I think he's like
Oh, yeah.
31. My goodness. But all this to say is that I think that even if usually historically the NBA has always favored the better player, I think that this is a series where very rarely in the playoffs do you use the depth that you come into and use throughout the regular season.
Yep.
The Oklahoma City Thunder send defensive wave after wave on you.
Oh,
And I think that depth is going to allow them to attack the Minnesota Timberwolves even after coming off of Game 7 series. Going to be fresh, going to come off, and I dare I say the only chance that the Minnesota Timberwolves have in this series is to win Game 1.
Wow.
See,
Wow.
I had Oklahoma City in 6, Phil. And Phil, I'm going to give you what I told Randy. I'm going to tell you briefly. I picked Oklahoma City as well. My reasoning was because I think Oklahoma City has the guys to guard Anthony Edwards that I don't think Golden State had. Right?
Yeah. That's pretty good. Here's my other thing, and I think it's even possibly even more plain than this.
Okay.
Can you name like the collection of 2 games within a series that the Minnesota Timberwolves have played well? Like I feel like they have not played well and won 2 series in gentleman's sweep fashions. I mean, like that. It just feels like the Lakers. I felt like they kept shooting themselves in the foot. Now,
they did.
Granted, I'm a LeBron fan, so maybe this is biased.
He's
okay,
a Bron-sexual.
Yeah, absolutely. Take that aside. This next series that the Minnesota Timberwolves went into, Golden State Warriors, they were begging to lose Game 2 without Steph Curry starting the game. They lost Game 1 against the Warriors with Steph Curry barely playing. So the Minnesota Timberwolves have looked as unimpressive as one can in 2 series of a gentleman's sweep nature. I don't think that the Minnesota Timberwolves have the ability to go above and beyond if they truly. Now we'll see. Maybe you have to take the Oklahoma City Thunder seriously. Maybe they thought that an out of shape Luka, they can just make him run around and tire him out. LeBron James is old, whatever. So they didn't take them seriously. Maybe it was that without Steph Curry, it was hard to get up for the Golden State Warriors and say,
get up.
And get and take Draymond seriously from 3-point range. So maybe that's the issue whenever you see now across the floor. Oh, we're in the series. We're in the Western Conference Finals. Maybe that's where we begin to see the Minnesota Timberwolves start to look like the best version of themselves. But because I have not seen it to this point, I cannot, in good faith and conscience, pick the Minnesota Timberwolves with any validity.
And I mentioned previously Anthony Edwards against Oklahoma City this season. 36% from the field and 32% from 3. He was routinely guarded by Lou Dort.
Yeah.
And here's what I think Oklahoma City did last year. Last year, they had a bunch of very good analytical pieces, but they were missing kind of that veteran experience and that grit. So you know what they did in the offseason? They went after Alex Caruso. They went after Hartenstein and got those guys. And all of a sudden, Oklahoma City has these talented players, but now they got a little bit of that grit and grind that they were missing. They have that now.
And all this to say, I don't think it's going to be just an absolute demolition. Like I think that Minnesota will look impressive in 2 games, mostly because they do have two key matchup wins in their pocket. Where I think that Shai Gilgeous will win his match. Or sorry, let me reverse that. Anthony Edwards will win his matchup for the most part. You know, like they'll need to send waves at him, not necessarily it's not going to be just send Lou Dort on him and he'll win automatically. So that's a win for them, as well as Julius Randle.
Oh, dude, he's been awesome.
He's definitely shook off the James Harden cape he was beginning to don
for not being a good playoff performer. Quote quote. He has shook it off.
Now he's shed that, and I'd love a matchup of Julius Randle against all 70 pounds of Chet Holmgren. You know, the string being that Chet Holmgren is. Randy,
Chet Holmgren.
It'd be like if I was trying to take you to the rack, Randy, over there. Like you just say, "Oh, good luck, Bucko. Good luck here."
I don't ever say Bucko. I say Jack.
Yeah, here's some old school Jack.
He says that to me all the time.
You give me some old school mustard back there, and I say, all right,
mustard.
Fair enough.
Mustard.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where?
The spicy Dijon.
Quiet Cannon on the text line 888-368-1580 says OKC will dominate and win in 5 games, 6 games at the most. They can take care of a team with one dominant player. We saw that what they did with Denver with the best player in the world, the Blender. The Blender, does it seem to be able to pick a clear winner without a bunch of asterisks? I don't know what you mean. Quiet Cannon.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Because these two guys, these two yahoos, have clearly picked Oklahoma City. Meanwhile, I feel like it's a 7-game series, and I feel like the Timberwolves will show their experience. And just because I'm a big guy in You have to play to win the game. You have to play the game.
What does that, Randy? Say it again.
You have to play the game in order
I don't think that's
to
right. I don't think
win the
that's right.
game.
Oh,
Winning
yeah,
the
yeah,
game
that's right.
means playing it.
Yep.
And
Yep.
just because
Yep.
something happened during the season doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen in the playoffs.
Mm.
I'm just saying that I think this is a 7-game series, and I think Minnesota, if they win game 1, it's on like Donkey Kong. I think it will go
absolutely.
7.
That's the only way.
If OKC wins tonight, then we can start talking about a gentleman's sweep.
The only thing that I would say will really indicate anything for me is that Oklahoma City Thunder have proven that they can dominate opponents in the regular season, certainly, and now in the postseason, right? Like it pretty much felt like any time that the Oklahoma City Thunder won against the Nuggets, and certainly, I mean, against Memphis, but whatever. That
See,
anytime.
Oklahoma City had a hard time at the half court, though. Let's face it, Denver had them, and that's why it was such a tough series for Oklahoma.
OKC's number 1 in pace, by the way. They play super fast. Just wanted to keep that.
Well,
in
right.
mind.
But what specifically in that, I think what is the only thing left for the Oklahoma City Thunder left to prove is that they've shown that they can win a game 7. That's great. That's a stepping stone of experience, if nothing else. What I have yet to see them do is win a close game where game management is needed from both the coach and the players in execution. I have not seen that yet, because every time that happened in the second round exclusively against Denver. Now, granted, you're probably playing the best game time, late game execution team in the league with the most veteran savviness and chemistry.
Sure.
Granted, but that means that I have not seen that. And I think that that's the narrow margin that Minnesota is going to need to walk along in order to win. If Oklahoma City Thunder can win a close, like, I don't know, 101-99 game, then I do think that we're talking about a 5-game, maybe even a sweep.
Yep.
But
Wow.
because that feels like the only avenue through which I don't see Minnesota ever blowing out the Oklahoma City Thunder.
No.
Donnie on the text line says, Phil, take another Adderall. OKC has beaten 2 injury-riddled teams. That was really Donnie. Average Joe says, Jokic absolutely should be winning the MVP this year. It's crazy that he's only the 3rd person to average a triple-double for the season and isn't going to win the MVP.
Triple-double and averaging it should not merit you winning the MVP alone. Otherwise, we will have a dangerous style of gameplay in the NBA that I don't think any of us really want to encourage.
Yep. I do think Jokic should win MVP, though.
By the way, Phil, you bring up a good point in the coaching and fluidity. Yesterday, on this very program, Triple H said that OKC needs to have some fluid sex.
Well,
fluid sex
women
is what he
weaken knees, I believe, is how Rocky.
Coach,
you are twisting my words, Randy. You're twisting my words.
Fluid
Randy.
sex.
No,
is what he said on this radio show yesterday.
Oh,
we got to take a break. When we come back to some more NBA stuff, we got some NFL stuff on the way. We got some more baseball stuff. Hell, we've got NHL. I don't know what. Maybe some WNBA. I don't know. It's a Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
All systems go. Listen to our live stream on your phone at 1580thefanatic.com.
Summer's here, and you can now get almost anything you need for your sunny days delivered with Uber Eats. What do we mean by almost? Well, you can't get a well-groomed lawn delivered, but you can get a chicken parmesan delivered. A cabana? That's a no. But a banana? That's a yes. A nice tan? Sorry, nope. But a box fan? Happily, yes. A day of sunshine? No. A box of fine wines? Yes. Uber Eats can definitely get you that. Get almost anything delivered with Uber Eats. Order now. Alcohol in select markets. Product availability may vary by region. See app for details.
My best friend died suddenly, and now his wife and kids have to move out of their house. I had no idea he didn't have life insurance. If I could go back, I'd tell him how easy and affordable protecting your family can be with SelectQuote. In 15 minutes, a licensed insurance agent found me a $500,000 life insurance policy for only $18 a month. They compare many of the nation's most highly rated insurance carriers to find the right coverage and price for your needs. In the last 40 years, they've helped more than 2 million families secure over $700 billion in coverage. Even if you have a health concern, SelectQuote agents can find you the right policy at the lowest price. Don't wait until it's too late. Get peace of mind that your loved ones are protected with life insurance.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-480-5454 for your free quote today. That's 1-800-480-5454 or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-480-5454. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
The coolest summer starts at Target with up to 50% off select Sun Squad pool and outdoor toys and 20% off select favorite day treats with Target Circle. Discover inflatable pools and outdoor toys that'll surely make a big splash this season, while you keep it cool and sweet with the most shareable cookies and frozen snacks under the sun. Hurry! Now through Memorial Day, save up to 50% on select Sun Squad toys and 20% on select favorite day treats with Target Circle, only at Target. Restrictions apply.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342. T&Cs apply. Available in app only.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your boat, boat wins.
What are you going to do? Take the boat out for a spin or go mail something? Boat wins! Are we cleaning the patio or taking the boat out fishing? Boat wins! Are we skipping that eye exam to go sailing? Boat wins!
Rescheduling eye exams can be a nightmare.
All right, fine. Eye exam, then boats.
With Progressive, you can bundle your boat with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings on your boat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states and situations.
We know how you feel. There's nothing better than a fall afternoon, an order of wings and a nice cold brew, and football. This fall, the Fanatic is your source for high school, college, and NFL football action. The high school game of the week on Friday nights, top line NCAA action on Saturdays, and the NFL primetime games. When it comes to football, we have you covered. We're 1580 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
It is the Daily Blender on this Tuesday. Every time I hear this song, I'm out of breath. Why is that? It makes me tired.
Really?
This song makes me tired. I need to go in and delete this from the bumper music. I can't handle this.
It emotionally and physically strains you.
It physically strains me. 888-368-1580 here on 1580-99.3, the Fanatic Daily Blender in effect for a Tuesday. We're talking some NBA playoff stuff. Quiet Cannon wants to stir the pot and says, so then Randy and Harris, are you picking OKC? No. Harris is picking OKC.
Yes.
Because he's in a deep, almost a spiritual bet against Donnie.
Yep.
Oh, really?
And two of these guys have, after much deliberation, decided the winner will buy the loser, or the loser will buy the winner at pizza. And Donnie says, I might buy Randy a pizza if the Wolves win. I might buy Randy. I'm holding you to that, Donnie. I just want you to know.
So before we get to that,
it's in black and white. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're okay. You're okay, Randy.
Yeah. Let's see here. Also on the no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I've seen you. I'm baffled that song makes you tired because I've seen your NFL draft training.
Oh my
I've seen how hard you go at it every year.
Listen, that's NFL draft stuff. That's
right.
But that song right there is just crazy.
Randy White is like a dancing bear.
Right.
He is full of grace, poise,
yet a ballerina at the same time.
A mixture of balance and yet power.
Oh, guys, you're going a little
goodness
too far.
gracious. I mean, Phil, you couldn't have described it more perfectly.
Wow.
Right.
All right, 888-368-1580. Enough of this stuff. As we move on here on the Daily Blender. Okay, there's another set of teams that are going to play, and that'll begin playing
tomorrow night when the Pacers take on the Knicks.
That's right.
Let's break it down a little bit here. Now that we have two experts, the 2025 Eastern Conference tips off tomorrow night. Most people are taking the Pacers, although I think in this, some people are saying the Knicks have a better chance than the Minnesota does against OKC. What say you, Triple H?
So yesterday, y'all know I was on the fence. I had to give a prediction. And so at gunpoint,
did it hurt?
At gunpoint, I was like, I'll go with the Knicks. I researched the series. My mind has been opened.
Oh, we got a flip flopper. Get out your chocolates.
All right, here we go.
I would love to take the Knicks. It's just beautiful. It's the storybook Hollywood film that everyone wants to see. The guys that got everyone united together, all of New York City, the tribalism, the city is the most excited it's been in a quarter century. It's just too good to be true. Sometimes there are sayings in life when it's too good to be true. A lot of times it's because it is too good to be true. I think the Indiana Pacers will win this game, win this series, not just tonight, win this series. In 6, Randy.
In 6?
In 6 games. I do.
What say you?
Believe it.
Phil the Thrill.
So you think the New York Knicks are going to win this in 6?
No, the Pacers.
No,
the Pacers are going to win this in 6.
That's what I thought. Randy, I kind of want to hold him.
I like this. I'm kind of like the judge. Yes, go ahead.
He's like Judge Judy.
I kind of want to hold him. If he already made a pick, I kind of want to hold him to it because here's I don't want to agree with him all show. It feels wrong. It feels dirty. Because look, I echo everything.
Why does it feel dirty, Phil?
Because it's just the two guys on the show who are the experts are supposed to both pick the same team. It just looks wrong. It feels like collusion. But
it's not.
This is the series that I feel like it has a better shot of going 6-7, more so
Agreed.
than 5-4.
Yep.
This is the series that is much harder to pick for me, and this is the series that I think is it's very rare that we have a New York-based professional team that is rootable. That is enjoyable and not just obnoxious.
Yep.
The Jets, the Mets, the Cookie Mookie Betts, I don't care who it is, they're all annoying, except for the Knicks because they've just
think so? You really think so?
They're all so annoying.
How can you be annoyed of the Jets? Aren't they just they're too pathetic to hate?
See, that's the thing, but then they get obnoxious when they get any little
sliver of hope.
drip of water in the desert.
Jets fans do?
Right.
Oh my God!
Yeah, whenever it's like the Raiders.
I don't know about that.
It's
maybe
like
Raider fans, but
it's
I don't
like
know.
giving water to someone that has been trapped in a Sahara desert for years.
I don't know about Jets fans. Maybe Mets fans.
I don't know. New
I
Jersey,
think we can all agree about
Mets
those
fans
Yankee fans
compared to Yankee fans. You see what I'm saying?
Regardless,
Yeah.
the Knicks I think are a fun story. I think that they have a very you can very much identify with the team. Like Jalen Brunson, the head and focal point of their entire team, second rounder. Yeah, anybody's lying to say that even when he was with Luka, they thought that, better off to just let him go. I mean, nobody saw this potential that he has to lead a team. There are debates about whether or not he's like the best Knick this side of like, Phil Jackson in that era of like basketball and like everybody else who won. I mean, he's like, everybody's like, forget Carmelo who? You know, so
Melo wasn't doing this. He wasn't taking him to the conference.
No, he was not. He
finals.
was getting him to the playoffs and then losing and then getting swept in the first round.
Yep.
That being said, I feel like that the home series might matter a lot, and it's certainly going to matter a lot for New York. But I feel like the way that I've seen in Game 1, how ferocious and how up in tempo and in pace these Indiana Pacers have shown to be in the playoffs in Game 1 of both of their previous series. I feel like that's worth a game. And whenever you steal Game 1 and you're the road team, by the time the other team gets comfortable, gets into a matchup that they're like, okay, this is how we solve this. By the time they figure that out, you've already gotten a game, maybe even 2 games, and you have firm control of the series. And plus, you're talking about Rick Carlisle, an underrated top 5 coach in the NBA right now. If even, maybe even top 3. I mean, depending on how it goes. I think that Rick Carlisle is certainly the better coach in this one. Tibbs is much more popular, but I think Rick Carlisle is the better one.
Maybe.
I feel like Tyrese Halliburton got them to this point, and they played against each other last year. Went to a game 7, should be an entertaining series because of that. And then Halliburton got injured and wasn't able to continue on. Otherwise, I think we'd be looking more favorably on this Indiana Pacers team, even heading into the season, let alone the playoffs.
Yeah.
I feel like the Indiana Pacers have the requisite pieces, have the requisite play style to really just pour a rain of butter or whatever Barbara Streisand said whenever she was singing going down her Dolly Town.
She what?
Yeah, hello, Dolly.
She had butter in her Dolly?
I think that it is going to
hell does
be
that
an
mean?
absolute fiasco for the New York Knicks
Butter
in
in the
6, if at best case scenario, 7 games, but the Pacers pull it out, and in what is going to be just the most uninteresting brand of finals you've ever seen in Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Indiana Pacers.
Battle of the small markets.
Battle of the small markets.
Yep.
Swave Dave on the text line at 888-368-1580 says, did Phil get fired from his other gig? He's been on the show an awful lot lately. And by the way, Nixon Ford.
Harrison won't like that.
So
the 2863 says, I'm glad to hear Phil on the show. He's the best host on the station with his insightful talk about how great the Lakers are, the Dodgers, LeBron James, Denver Broncos.
Amen.
This station needs more geniuses like him. Is that your girlfriend?
Oh, as well she should.
Is-
God bless
is that
her.
your girlfriend?
That's my favorite. That's my favorite texter right there.
Is that your girl?
Who texted
right it? 2863.
Get a
That
room.
isn't- that
Get
is-
a room.
That isn't my girlfriend. No,
Oh.
sports girly would be my
And
girlfriend.
is that it was Steve? No, not Steve. What's his name? On that show you're on Saturdays.
Ralph
with,
and Neil?
Neil.
Weekend Warriors.
Maybe it's Neil. Absolutely.
Maybe it's Neil. 2860.
Neil is Nigel, right?
Mm.
I'm just trying to make sure I get the names.
Neil, but yes. The I believe Jeffrey is
Ginkle is
surname.
Whitaker. Whitaker is Ginkle. Whatever the hell he says.
So,
Hamilton Porter says, did Phil get... no, wait. I'm sorry. That's not Hamilton Porter. That's Swave Dave.
Still have not yet.
Hamilton Porter says, Jalen Brunson is the MVF. Most valuable flopper. Oh, hush.
I thought he was going to say finisher because Jalen Brunson is a
does not
tremendous
flop.
closer.
Oh, yeah.
Lefty Lefty
We could
says,
take some notes.
Most exciting matchup for me to watch in this series is Bridges and Siakam. Looks like a fun pair to go at each other. Yeah, I would say so.
It feels like a very much like draw to a stalemate. Like they both feel very comparable to one another, actually.
Very solid, like kind of fringe all-star type player, you could say.
In both cases.
Yeah. That is a good matchup.
Moist One wants to know, did any of you fellas happen to catch the Eurovision Song Contest?
I have not, but you know what? Ever since
I don't know what
watching
that is.
Eurovision on Netflix, I do have a soft spot in my I kind of got into the lore, got into the background. Eurovision,
Really?
it's like American Idol for the freaking world. It's amazing.
Really?
It is. And they're all singing. It's like, imagine Gangnam Style, but like the entire world brings their Gangnam Style to the forefront of the stage.
Oh,
and
that's
so it's
beautiful.
broken English. It's nonstop, unapologetic fireworks. It is showmanship. It is memes galore. It is fantastic.
Did you say Gangnam Style on the Daily Blender?
I
Because
did.
I'm not sure I'm allowed to say that. I'm not sure I'm allowed. No, I'm not. That's not allowed on the Daily Blender.
I think it should. With Jeffrey not here, I think we should make an exception.
Base Slapper says, is that landfill? It is.
Howdy.
Let's see. 2863 says, nope, not Neil, Ralph, or Nigel. I'm from LA, and this Phil guy gets it.
I love it. Yeah.
Oh, goodness
Hello, sir.
gracious. What a kiss.
Hefty
What a
Lefty
kiss.
says,
Mwah, mwah,
electric.
mwah. That's what I hear. That's all I hear.
Hefty Lefty says, electric callboy has been robbed in Eurovision. What the hell?
It's one of the groups. You're a lot of people were upset. I understand.
Never seen this show.
I don't even know what this.
I'm telling you, Harris,
Eurovision
it will
is.
change your world.
Really?
One of Will Ferrell's best shows.
It's Will Ferrell.
Yeah,
I love
it's Will Ferrell and Rachel McAdams in a does not need to go that hard in acting, but does. It is fantastic.
Wow. I've been watching Love on the Spectrum. That's what I've been watching. Such a good.
You mean
Guys,
the show or just like out in the park?
You guys want a tearjerker?
Not really.
Watch that show. Feel something.
my take on this series between the Pacers and the Knicks.
Yes.
Yes, Randy.
I have the Knicks winning this series, by the way. They've got some great momentum after their dismantling of the Celtics in the wake of
Jason Tatum's
the
injury.
Celtics injury. And they were able to hang with the Celtics. I have a gnat that's been in here all week.
Oh, I don't like it when I disagree with Randy.
Anyway,
it's happened for both of us twice.
the Pacers will run and try to tire the Knicks out. And I don't think it's going to work over the course of a 7-game series. Pacers are extremely deep, have an offense that can match, if not exceed, the Knicks' attack. But I think Indiana will struggle. They've had a hell of a run. And I'd like to say congratulations, but the Knicks win, I believe, in 7 games.
Interesting. So I want to get more in depth on this series. First off,
do you?
I do. I would like to. So before
After
we get
Phil's
in depth on
Gundam
this,
style, I don't know how more deep we can.
oh,
get.
I got some myself too,
All right.
Randy. I mean, let me tell you. I mean, you get me going. It's look out. But I'll say this. So I was looking at these 4 coaches, guys. And there's a theme that I noticed. All 4
Gundam
of
style?
these coaches
Oh.
still
Are they all
alive.
white?
Yes.
I figured it out, Randy. I figured it
You
out.
did it. You did it, Phil. You did it.
All
But
right.
they have all been here at their teams for 4+ years.
Okay, so what
Yeah.
you're saying is consistency. You're saying that
Yep.
buying into a system. You're saying that a team that is built around the coach and the culture that they provided for 4+
am.
years is worth something now in the league.
I am saying that.
Mm.
Yes, I am. Think about it. All 4 of these teams, Rick Carlisle, I mean, he's a champion with a team that had no business beating that Miami Heat team in 2011.
Very
And
impressive.
he did that. Dagnall's been excellent. Finch has been excellent. I mean, you keep Tibbs is awesome too. So all 4 of these guys have well-established systems. Forever, it's been the revenge of the players, right? And now all of a sudden, the Jedi are making a comeback here. And it's the revenge of the coaches. That's right. That's another Star Wars reference,
Well,
Randy.
a revenge
And Jeffrey
of the
can't give me a
coaches.
2-minute penalty today.
Well,
that's right.
He
Well-
is not here, but I am.
Oh,
So-
please don't.
Oh, there we go.
Easy.
Don't do it.
One thing I do
Easy.
wonder about is that the NBA, as most sports are, I think, but the NBA is very much a copycat league. And
is.
for the past couple seasons, I feel like the trend that had been getting copied and spammed time and time again was the 3-pointer, right? Like it was just making that far more and more important. And then any team that was less of a standard than the Golden State Warriors was like, oh wait, how do we get to beat them? Well, let's try to 3-point and like one style begets another, and it was building upon each other. Yada yada.
Yep.
I'm hoping that you're correct in that's what the NBA takeaway is. If not just a revenge of the mid range. Like it feels like the 3-pointers in this playoff specifically has not gone away all entirely, but it's certainly due to the physical nature of the play style on the part of all 4 winning teams that have met in these conference finals.
For sure.
I think has shown that when you are that tired, when you are that physical, when guys are taking their pound of flesh against the other one, that by the time you get to the game 5, by the time you get to game 6, by the time you get to the next series, your legs are tired, and that's where all your power and lift is going to be coming for those 3-point shots. And so if they are gone, you need a gimme move, a go-to move that the opponent, maybe they've tried and tried again, but now it's finally breaking through because they're exhausted. I'm hoping, to your point, Harris, that if not just for the coaching cultures staying and being something that is copied, maybe more loyalty towards the coaches and the culture that they're setting, if nothing else, bare minimum, the physical nature of the NBA being something that is taken and poached by other teams to say, okay, how do we become the next New York Knicks? Not how do we become the next Boston Celtics just taking 73s in one game.
Yep.
The text line is buzzing along here, and Quiet Cannon, before we go to break here, says, if the New York Knicks win the title, do we know if the fan base are the rioting type?
Oh, they will.
Oh,
They will.
definitely.
They
yeah.
are
You
that
think so?
time.
Broadway will burn.
Yep. It nearly burned when St. John's won the Big East.
Ah.
Like just times that by 10.
Okay.
That's exactly what we're looking at.
Slow-Mo Zo thanks us for explaining the catcher's balk. He missed that part of the show yesterday.
Yes.
Geez, you never want to tune out of the Daily Blender because things happen
Randy.
at a frenetic pace around here.
Very
and we're
frenetic.
always answering things and doing things. Let's take a break. We come back. We got some more NBA to talk. We got some all rookie news to talk about and a whole lot more. It's the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Get our free app and listen to the Daily Blender everywhere you go. Get it today, wherever you get your favorite apps.
It's time to make your yard the best on the block with Memorial Day savings at the Home Depot. Start by keeping the weeds at bay with EarthGrow mulch, now 4 for $10. Then keep your garden thriving with Miracle Grow garden soil, now on special buy, 4 for $10. Give your neighbors yard envy all summer long with Memorial Day savings going on now at the Home Depot.
My best friend died suddenly, and now his wife and kids have to move out of their house. I had no idea he didn't have life insurance. If I could go back, I'd tell him how easy and affordable protecting your family can be with SelectQuote. In 15 minutes, a licensed insurance agent found me a $500,000 life insurance policy for only $18 a month. They compare many of the nation's most highly rated insurance carriers to find the right coverage and price for your needs. In the last 40 years, they've helped more than 2 million families secure over $700 billion in coverage. Even if you have a health concern, SelectQuote agents can find you the right policy at the lowest price. Don't wait until it's too late. Get peace of mind that your loved ones are protected with life insurance.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-480-5454 for your free quote today. That's 1-800-480-5454 or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-480-5454. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
You've been putting back a few, and a few becomes a few too many. For a moment, you think of calling for a ride, but nah, you live nearby. What's the worst that could happen? You get pulled over, your insurance goes up, you lose your license, you total your car, you kill someone. The results of driving drunk are tragic. That's why law enforcement is out there looking for impaired drivers to save lives. So if you think you're okay to drive after a few drinks, think again. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
How did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you, all of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping with friends.
Merci beaucoup. Malcolm is a listening learner, so he checks with Babbel's speech recognition to be
Precio.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
Are you looking for career opportunities with great benefits and job growth? How about the chance to make an impact? What we do here at the City of Phoenix matters. 14,000 employees and counting, all dedicated to making a difference in the communities where they live, work, and play. So come join us. Help us do work that makes Phoenix work. You can see all open positions and apply at phoenix.gov/jobs. This message is sponsored by the City of Phoenix.
So, what's your favorite thing about sports? The excitement, the action, or the 5-meat pizza and the six-pack? Bingo. That's what we thought. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
It is the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. As we effort our way until 6 o'clock tonight, segment 3 of hour 2. Let's go to the text line real quick here before we get back to Triple H and Phil the Thrill. Which, by the way, you're welcome, Phil.
I'm welcome.
I don't think you have ever been called Phil the Thrill on this radio station.
That is a new. This is why, Randy,
Yeah,
we leave
yeah,
you
yeah.
to be the master general of
Yeah.
not only barbecue
Uh-huh.
but also of the new texter nicknames. If we need a guy, we don't need ChatGPT. We don't need AI. We've got Randy.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Who needs ChatGPT for anything when you
Well-
have Randy? Heck,
well,
if I had you around to write my
Easy.
college essays, I mean, you would have been
easy, Triple H.
you would have been phenomenal. I would have been a
wearing
straight
my
A student.
flip flops today. Easy.
Oh,
Triple A 368-1580. Swave Dave, see, this is the stuff I'm here for. Like, I love this. We were talking about Dodger fans yesterday. I've talked about Dodger
good
fans
things,
in
I
the
think.
past. Why some Dodger fans feel it necessary to attack other fans from other teams just because they go to the ravine there in Los Angeles and they want to watch a ball game. And then words are spoken and people get out of hand and alcohol's involved.
and then hands are thrown, and then there's farm implements and chickens and muskrats, and then next thing you know, somebody's in the damn hospital. You see what I'm saying?
I just got a little blindsided. I saw Mike Malone actually on TV and was like, "Whoa, whoa!"
Yeah,
And
he's doing the Bill Belichick tour of
Yeah.
trying to rebrand his image of I'm not a yeller, I'm as soft as a little Teddy bear.
Yep.
you know?
Yep. He's trying. He's trying.
It was right in the middle of something. I don't know if you guys.
But Randy,
were
yes,
listening.
I don't know
Randy,
why.
I'm sorry.
I don't know why Dodger fans. feel
Anyway,
it.
thanks, Phil. The thrill.
Yeah.
But this is the stuff I'm here for. Swave Day texted in at 888-368-1580 and says, I actually know a true Dodger fan at work, not like Ralph, who roots for his team of the week. She actually left work early today so she could jump on a plane, fly to LA, go watch the Dodgers play the Diamondbacks. And she's flying back tonight because she has a thing to go to with her son in the morning. I doubt she'll be duking it out with anyone tonight.
But,
Wow.
But the odds would be in her favor if she did. I'm sure that
You
she's
see
got
what
a
I'm
mean
saying,
left hook.
See, now that is a true blue Dodger fan right there.
Oh, Phil, you
he-
can see
she-
just embodies it. Classic non-sexual. Right.
Probably it bleeds Dodger blue.
Oh, inside he does.
Let's see. Quiet Cannon says, unfortunately, there's a lock of general law in greater LA. There's a lock of general law.
I'm assuming what that
greater
was
LA.
attempting to say is that there is a loss of general law, as in that there's a loss of
Lock.
general law and order,
law.
and therefore there is calamity. There is
Say
uproar.
lock.
There is revolution. There is
Lock.
bohemian
Say
things going on in
absolute,
the streets. Think
it's a
of the
lock.
children.
It's a lock.
First off, I've seen Dodger fans, and they can get hostile.
I've
but
seen them. They're behind the gates. They're
You've
fantastic.
seen them?
I grew up in the Southeast.
I went to the zoo.
They're nothing compared to those.
Oh my God! Don't
Those
don't
fans
do that. Don't do
down
that,
south.
Triple H.
Oh, I'll do it.
Oh, don't.
I'll
that.
do it.
Oh,
You
my
encounter those Cajun LSU fans.
Here we
Oh, those
I was-
Roll Tide Willies. Those
Is that what they really call them? I forgot about that. Roll
yeah,
Tide
those mountain Appalachian Tennessee fans.
my
Oh,
God.
don't even get me started. They are insane. I mean, I saw
Uh,
Tennessee fans throw golf balls in mustard bottles
Yeah.
at a guy who left their program 10 years ago.
Well, wow.
Just saying. Just saying. Dodger fans, they're obnoxious, but
They're not
I
even Raider fans.
See, I've
Yeah, they're
seen
not.
Dodger fans beat the hell out of a Giant fan with a baseball bat. They don't use mustard bottles or golf balls.
Yeah, they just go.
They
just
go right to the chains and knives.
You get one of ours sick, we put one of yours in the mold.
Yeah, look,
Wow.
there's a little something, and this is not going to be a popular take here in these parts, but
No, it's not.
there's a little sick side in me that likes what the Dodger fans do, because as a Tennessee fan, as for someone of a fan base that threw oranges at Reese Davis because he suggested that Charles Woodson should win the Heisman over Peyton Manning. That's right. That's right. It's kind of makes me a little bit just smile a little bit. Just a
Guys,
little
I'm
bit.
a little worried about base slap.
Just a little bit.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
what did he say?
Oh no.
Well, first, 450 or 433 texted in, is that landfill? And then just a few minutes later, 3 minutes later, he simply says, Will Ferrell sucks.
No.
And then at 441, he says,
No.
you want funny? Listen to Joan Rivers. Okay, I can't because she's dead.
Well, that statement's funny.
Joan Rivers is dead.
At worst, what you can say is Will Ferrell is like a Hall of Fame baseball player.
Yeah, but
He
Joan
hit-
Rivers is dead.
That is true. But oh no,
She died of death. She's dead.
That's the
She's
worst
no longer
cause.
funny. Now she's a rotting corpse.
I bet she does deadpan really well though.
See, the fourth dimension called me out.
See, that is terrible.
And when
Bill.
they-
oh my God,
when they start
I'm
making
sorry,
fun-
I've got to blow the whistle on that one.
The fourth dimension called me out on this, and when they start making fun of a or saying something about someone who's dead, I get really silent and get like this. I don't even know what to say.
Well, that's
Joan
your
Rivers
that's your
is
Midwest.
dead. She's dead.
That is your Midwestern upbringing right there, Harris. You don't want to speak ill of the dead, and I respect that. But
Thank you,
also,
Phil.
that is one Joan River that will not flow anymore.
Dang it,
Oh
that was
my
a good one.
God, I gotta
Dang it,
do that.
I gotta give it to
again.
him.
But
I have to
Gotta
do it
give it to him.
specifically to Will Ferrell. Oh yeah, the
God.
double whistle. Will Ferrell.
Join the club.
is a really good one and then a really bad one. For every Talladega Nights, you got what was it? Casa de mi Padre or whatever.
Okay,
I never heard of that.
Yeah,
that was a Will Ferrell movie he did entirely in Spanish.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah,
he learned all of his lines in Spanish. He did the entire movie in Spanish.
For every Get Hard, there's Step Brothers.
What
are you? Hold up.
That
Did
is
you
a weird
just crap on Step Brothers?
I said no. I'm sorry. The
feel
Step
like-
Brothers is the positive one.
I'm losing control of this show here. I feel like I blew the double whistle, and I keep hearing Phil's voice for some reason. He's got a double minor. That's 4 minutes. That's past the top of the hour. He can't be talking.
Phil's like skating on the ice right now, and the officials are chasing after him, and he's just too fast.
I'm
Like,
doing
he can't.
pirouette.
Phil, I can make this go into the weekend. I can make this go to the Weekend Warriors.
He's like jumping over him, doing flips, and the refs are like falling apart, and they're just falling on the ground. And
He's trying to
crossing
do
up.
a triple sow cow. That's what he's trying to do right there.
Oh man, I mean, he'd be good at it. He'd be good at it.
888-368-1580 is a text line. Zay says, "How is Step Brothers a bad movie?"
I had the order wrong. I was trying to go back and forth.
Phil, you can't talk.
God. They baited me into it.
Fourth Dimension can be sleazy sometimes.
Speaking of sleazy, Moist One
speaking of
says,
sleazy,
"Feel like
here we
I'm squeezing a golf ball out of mustard bottle during." Diamondback dude says, Harris McPherson Hicks, you can go to hell for speaking so highly of Dodger fans. Need I remind you of my story yesterday where I told you how I got booed and heckled and water bottles thrown at me for wearing a Diamondbacks jersey in Chavez Ravine parking lot?
You wouldn't.
They are the most despicable fans on the face of the earth. They killed a Giants. Well, they didn't actually kill him.
They could have. You wouldn't. Let me
didn't.
say this. Let me say this.
Yeah.
Look at me. Understand my voice intensely. You wouldn't last in the South. Nope. That type of sensitivity in SEC country doesn't last. Only team is Vanderbilt.
Speaking of SEC country,
Oh.
White Cannon says, Harris, how's the Tennessee baseball team doing this year?
How's the Tennessee baseball team doing? We're doing all right. Honestly, we're in a little bit of a cold streak. We struggled against Vanderbilt. We took 2 away. One of those was a classic. Liam Doyle, by the way, if y'all don't know who that is, remember the name. He's going to be a top 5 pick in the draft. He's having sort of a Paul Skeens resurgence. We got some batters, Dean Curley. We're just looking for depth in our lineup. That's probably the biggest thing. And we're
It's
looking
too bad his name's not Rick Curley or Richard Curley.
Right. Yeah. Maybe you should change it.
Maybe.
Yeah, Dick Curley.
But go ahead. I'm sorry. Dean Curley.
Dean Curley. Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Transfer from Clemson.
Just something that just kind of entered my
Randy.
mind.
Randy,
I don't know
this
what
is a
happened.
safe space. I mean,
Yeah.
this is.
Oh my God!
anything.
Today's Taco Tuesday, by the way. We didn't even fire that off. Hope everybody's getting
I
their
love how
tacos
Phil
ready.
knows the song.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's been a staple.
Yeah,
When-
that is. A staple.
Phil, you can't talk yet.
It's been 4 minutes. Oh, it's my fault. I baited him. It's my fault. Sorry,
Has
Phil.
it been 4 minutes?
It
Has it?
has.
All right. Then you go ahead and talk, Phil.
I miss him.
Burrito.
I miss him.
Mm.
I want him back.
All right. We got a few minutes left here. Oh my God. Oh, look at this. Heavy Metal Maniac says Dodgers can go to hell. They peed in our pool.
Oh, is that so? Mm.
Yeah.
You know, there are 2 types of people. Ones that pee in the pool and ones that lie about peeing in the pool. Everyone pees in the pool. You know what I'm saying?
I pee twice in the pool because my name is spelled with 2 of them.
God.
Oh, Phil, that's phenomenal. I mean, I do too.
Phil the Thrill has got 2 P's in it.
Yeah, Philip, beginning and end.
Yep.
Philip.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Mm.
yeah, because he usually popped up as Philip on the Zoom. So that's him. Yeah. Yep.
Let's see here. Eye Candy. I missed you. Sorry about that, Eye Candy. Hey, Randy. Fun fact. And fun fact. Thank you.
I don't think I've ever said fun fact in this hour. I've
No.
done a better job.
And now you just have.
Oh,
That
And
was
you
a bait.
just
That
have.
was definitely a bait.
that was such a bait.
And you just
I
did.
cannot
You allowed
believe
the
it.
fourth dimension
Again,
to do that.
you'd think I'd learned by now, but I just haven't.
Beer Nut says Eagles fans and Dodger fans are the worst.
It doesn't get much worse than throwing snowballs with batteries inside of them at Santa Claus. That is a Hall of Fame.
I love it.
Worthy of pretty bad and vitriolic fan.
It's sick, and I love it. I love it.
Swave Dave says you're just a couple of peas in a pool pod.
That's true.
Okay. My name doesn't have a P in it, though.
I don't know what that
But
means.
I think I'm the one bringing the pee into the pool. So.
Yeah, you are.
So
Moist one just
So
getting
am I.
Just really getting on the
My name
text
doesn't
line
have a P
today.
in it.
Moist one says, can we call Philip the Eiffel Tower because he's got no.
I'm assuming he was going to make a Rudy Gobert joke. That's where I'm sure he was going. And I'm more of a offensive driven player than a defense.
God. No, I can't do it. I tried. I can't do it.
Feels more of like a shoot first DeAndre Jordan, I may say.
Let's see here. Quiet Cannon on the text line takes us to break. Says that's true. What's ironic? Chavez Ravine is right next door to the LAPD Academy, where Los Angeles police officers are trained. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They are. It's their testing grounds. It's like, all right, this is the worst of the worst.
Wow. Against the spread, I'll get to you right after the break. It's hour 2 in the books. Hour 3 is next over most of these same radio stations. This is the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, your sports betting something station.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV, RV wins.
What, are you going to take the RV to the mountains or go pick up your dry cleaning? RV wins! Are we cleaning the gutters or taking the RV camping? RV wins! Are we getting a new passport or cruising up the coast? RV wins!
Don't forget, you got that trip to Sweden coming up.
Oh, yeah, passport, then RV.
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states and situations.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. T&Cs apply.
This Memorial Day, turn up the heat with the Home Depot. Find the perfect grill and patio set to keep the cookouts coming all season long. Grill up a feast with the Next Grill 4-burner gas grill, only $229. And complete your space with the stylish Glen Ridge Falls 7-piece dining set, now on special buy for just $499 with free delivery. Take your Memorial Day cookout to the next level all summer long with the Home Depot. See homedepot.com/delivery for more details.
My pain is considerable, but that prescription is dangerous.
The side effects of my medicine are worse than my condition.
I'm in recovery. I can't take those pills.
When faced with a health crisis, you shouldn't have to choose between risks. At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our naturopathic doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. Our naturopathic doctors can restore pain-free joint function and restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves immediate physical symptoms without having you take a bunch of pills. If traditional medicines aren't working, don't you think it's time to start feeling like yourself again? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
Your best plan to retire might be right under your roof. This is Rob Canyer, and for over 20 years, I've helped people discover how they can utilize a portion of their equity in their home as a coordinated strategy in retirement planning, thus creating additional monthly cash flow, paying less taxes, and making their retirement assets last longer. This is a safe and proven retirement strategy for qualified homeowners age 62 and older. All you have to do is reverse your thinking. Call me, Reverse Rob, to learn more at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
Quiet, people, settle down because it's time.
For what? Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
Welcome, everybody, to hour number 3 as we kick off the 5 o'clock hour. Live from the CRC Broadcasting Megaplex in beautiful uptown Scottsdale. My name is Randy White. Right over there, that is Phil the Thrill has joined us on the Daily Blender. Next to him is Triple H.
That's
And
right.
We are efforting to take you to 6 o'clock tonight. You are the fourth dimension. Texting in at 888-368-1580. And we have covered a number of topics today. Most notably, the Diamondbacks winning last night. And I'm not bragging here in case Ralph is listening. I'm just reporting the news here. 9-5 final score. The Diamondbacks did everything they could to try to give this game away. And I'm not sure why they didn't give it away, but still, Diamondbacks win. They go again tonight. Ryan Nelson will be pitching for the Snakes. He'll be up against Admiral Yamamoto. I thought Yamamoto was caught during World War II, but apparently he's pitching for the Dodgers, and he's got a 2.12 ERA. Diamondbacks at the Dodgers tonight. Chavez Ravine. Phil, your speakers are too loud. You need to turn those down.
Is that so?
Yeah,
will do. Phil's incoming is a good volume for me.
Yeah. Well, Phil's speakers. I heard the control room speakers were on.
It's all right. Yes, I
Oh.
understand what you're saying, Randy, and the situation has been saved. But
thank
you know
you.
what can maybe not be saved is the Dodgers pitching rotation.
Wow. Well, yeah, we did talk about that. a
Talked
little
about
bit.
this yesterday.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Well, it's just the Dodgers, for whatever reason, seem to find great talent for their everyday lineup, right? And very rarely do you see any injuries there that isn't just kind of normal run-of-the-mill stuff. You know, Shohei Ohtani, Aaron Judge, they usually miss about 12 games a year with injuries just to give them a break. You know, if it's a long, extended away road series, maybe that's when.
Right.
But specifically for their pitching rotation, they've employed an interesting tactic, which is where they want the absolute highest ceiling for their pitching rotation across the league, which it very much is, where in the beginning of the year, you can say, if everyone's healthy. And that phrase is so dangerous because if everyone's healthy, the Dodgers by far have the best pitching rotation in all of baseball.
For sure.
By far.
For sure.
But the reason why it's so dangerous is because consistently year after year after year after year, and it seems like it's been the key phrase that has been hitting the Dodgers every time, is that the reason why they have such high ceilings is because these pitchers that they get seem to be more prone to injury than any other pitching rotation in the league. Now, the thing is that usually they have like 2 starting rotations worth of high level starting pitchers, but they're all injury prone.
Yeah.
And so usually by the end of the year, they've got 4 healthy ones. And then by the time one breaks down, another one's coming back from injury and everything else. The problem with it this year is that even their one guy that they brought in, the guy from San Diego, I'm forgetting his name, the former
Blake
Cy Young.
Snell.
Blake Snell, thank you. He's supposed to be like their Iron Man. He's supposed to be like their guy that, even though he doesn't go beyond 3 innings, he was going to be there pretty much every day on his assignment.
He did pretty good last season. I mean,
he's going to be he was supposed to be their guy that was going to be their Iron Man. He got injured. Their Cy Young winner guy, he's been down for assignment. Shohei Ohtani, they're going to want to ease him back. So I mean, they have not been able to field a healthy pitching rotation at all at like any point of this season, and that's been killing them.
Let me throw this at you. On the IL currently, we know Clayton Kershaw is no longer on the IL, but Roki Sasaki, he's on the 15-day IL. Blake Snell, the 60-day. Tyler Glass now, 15-day.
Yeah.
Emmett Sheehan is on the 60-day IL.
Yeah.
Gavin Stone, 60-day
Gosh, they
IL.
have so many pitchers.
And River Ryan on the 60-day IL. That leaves you with a starting pitching rotation of Yamamoto, May, Gonsolin, Knack, and Kershaw.
Yeah, and by the way, the Dodgers, I talked about this yesterday. We give the Diamondbacks a lot of crap for their pitching staff and what they've been after the lofty expectations that they've dealt with. 21st in ERA, Arizona is. The Dodgers, 24th.
Well, and that's because of all of these injuries that they seem to sustain.
Yeah.
This is the second year we've been talking about this.
Yeah.
That the Dodgers pay a lot of attention to scoring runs. Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, Shohei Ohtani. What's his name? I can't think of it right now. But anyway, they spend a lot of money on their offense, but and the money they spend on their pitching doesn't seem to play out for them.
Yeah. And Blake Snell, you talk about, here's the thing that the Dodgers have done. The ceiling thing, Phil, that you talked about. The Dodgers have taken a lot of chances on guys that have been injury prone in the past. Blake Snell has only played one season where he's pitched over 128 innings since 2018.
I feel like it was probably closer to 2018 than it was recently.
Right. And so him with that, Tyler Glasnow he's had a lot of injuries. Now, he's known when he pitches, he's one of the best pitchers in the league.
Yeah.
Right. But he's dealt with a lot of injuries. So the Dodgers, what's hurt them, like you brought up, is durability. That's their main concern. And I'm not sure what it's going to look like when Ohtani gets back, because there might be a sense of urgency with that.
Well, Ohtani is no longer on the IL as far as the pitching depth goes. If you look up the roster for the Dodgers, which I have brought up here on my amazing computer.
Yes.
Shohei Ohtani has no designation next to his name. In other words, he's ready to go.
I don't know that he's going to be taking pitches until at least middle of the season, though, Randy. Don't you agree? I mean, if they made that such a heavy investment in him as a two-way player, yes, he had massive returns for you solely as a DH last year, won the MVP from that position. I understand that he has certainly a high value, but he wasn't worth $70 million per year just as a designated hitter.
No, I understand that, but also as a pitcher.
Exactly.
I get what you're saying.
So wouldn't you want to ease him in?
I would imagine you would. But in this case right now, the Dodgers, like Harris has said, might need to push up his rehab and get him back into the rotation. Or this could go south fast. They lost 3 to the Anaheim Angels of Orange County.
Yeah,
they lost another one last night.
That is nuts.
They lost another one last night to the Diamondbacks. This is the first time since, was it the 90s that they've lost 4 in a row at Chavez Ravine?
Wow,
since the late 90s?
If that's true, that is a crazy stat. But another thought here, because I'm going to look at this in two ways, a positive and negative. The negative is it's not just durability. Like the Dodgers have one pitcher on their entire starting rotation who has an under 4 ERA this season. One guy. It's Yamamoto. Everyone else has an ERA above 4.
And even Yamamoto can be got.
Yeah, Glasnow's got a 5.4, Gonsolin 4.7, Knack 5.2, Sasaki, remember the guy who was throwing 105 in Japan, was supposed to be this big thing. Well, he's got a 6 ERA and his command is off, and Dustin May's got a 4.1. So when these guys have pitched, they've also struggled. Now, there is another way we can look at this, which is a really scary thing. The Dodgers are, I believe, I don't have it right in front of me. They're what, 29-18, I believe?
Yeah, they're 29-19.
29-19. The Dodgers are 29-19 despite having the 24th best ERA in the MLB and having a freakish amount of injuries in their rotation. That is a crazy, scary thought.
Well, but yes, it is. But I think part of the reason why I understand where you're coming from, Randy, with where the urgency is coming from. Because right now, if I'm not mistaken, they're still leading the league in win losses. Like they're standings wise, they're at the top. Near, if nothing else. They are where it most matters. Is that normally if you would normally have some grace, right? They built themselves a little bit of wiggle room. Though that 4 in a row has blown away a lot of that cushion, first of all. Second of all, the team that you are in almost direct competition with, that you're going to be facing while you're in this downslide, is Arizona, who is on your heels and nipping at you, and they're the 4th place within your division.
Right.
So the position from first to 4th in your own division, the Diamondbacks are only 3 games back.
Yeah, there's a little margin for error.
And I mean, now the Rockies are 20.5. So, I mean, you got a lot of grace there.
Well,
but you certainly don't want to lose that division lead that you have if we're looking at it from a Dodgers perspective.
I mean, I felt like going into the season, the National League West was going to be a crapshoot because I think you have so many teams that are good or have become better and are gunning for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Let's face it. when you're the Dodgers, there's a target on your back because you've got to beat the best to be the best. And so the Dodgers right now are at the pinnacle of baseball.
Yeah.
But they have also hamstrung themselves by not being able to make a whole lot of moves, by locking up a bunch of money in their lineup. Are they able to go out and make some moves? You don't have a lot of options down in the farm system. You've got too many injuries at the big club. I mean, now you start trading away guys on the big club to bring in a big name to help this pitching staff.
Yeah, because I mean, if you look at their roster, I mean, this is probably the most. I mean, at some point, it's not even the money; it's just the roster spots. Because I mean, yes, a few of those empty out whenever, of course, the guys come back. But then your problem is going to be that you have too many guys. So it's kind of like you're always doing this balancing act of where, like, somebody like a Clayton Kershaw can come back, be literally just an innings eater, which is something you don't necessarily associate with Clayton being the legend that he is for the Dodgers.
Yeah.
But at this stage in his career, he's going to have to be somebody that you get that is like, you know what, I'm fine with being a guy in the rotation, being a part of the team, and being heavily important to just get through the regular season 162 grind. And then in the postseason, he's probably not seeing any action. Like he probably won't be on this rotation if I mean, he'll travel with the team, you know, as anybody, but he's not going to be available to them to use unless they're beset by injuries. So to your point, Randy, I don't know. It's weird that they have a lot of flexibility within the roster, but to get better when they get this plague, this just absolute demolition of injuries that they've almost kind of set themselves up to have, it leaves them to be on the same contention level with the other teams that, like you mentioned, Randy, are really good in their own division. Like it evens out the odds.
Yeah, I was looking at this rotation, and I count 10 guys. Yamamoto, May, Sasaki, Knack, Gonsolin, Glasnow, Snell as well. That's 7. Bobby Miller, you could say that's 8. Kershaw, that's 9. And then Ohtani, when he comes back, that's 10.
That's 10 guys that bare minimum are a number 3 starter across every team in the league.
Yep. So, like, what are they going to do in the postseason? Are they just going to, like, keep splitting, like, taking these guys in and out? Are they going to be like hockey lines?
Right. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Dude pitches one inning, and then a dude pitches another, and then another.
The Dodgers.
Have we seen that before?
When you set the playoff picture, you will make decisions based upon what playoff it is. Divisional finals? Is it the league championship series? Is it the World Series? They'll make adjustments to that because remember, you have to have a certain number of guys on your team. All of these pitchers are not going to be able to be on or in the rotation for the Dodgers. They have to keep moving them in and out, playing chess with them during the playoffs and during the rest of the season. That's why they have such a vast depth of a canyon, if you will, of these talented pitchers. They did not expect for the heart of that pitching rotation to end up on the disabled or the injured list.
It's like polio just hit the pitching staff. I mean, everybody's got it. They got it. He's got a little bit of it. He's not filling up to 100%, but if he's not pitching, we're going to have the catcher start pitching. It's up.
Yeah. So Moist one said, first of all, Blake Snell came from San Francisco. Yes, that's correct.
San Francisco.
He was with San Diego before. He went to San Francisco, and now he's with Los Angeles. And saying the best rotation by far is asinine. Sasaki hasn't done bleep. The Mariners' rotation, fully healthy, is better. Yes, that is true.
I don't think.
I'm talking about expectations of what this rotation could do.
Respectfully, no, though. I mean, they've got how many Cy Young winners on or at least former Cy Young winners on the Dodgers? No, on the Dodgers.
Oh, on the Dodgers. Do the Mariners even have? The Dodgers have. Oh my goodness.
I mean, the Mariners is good, but it's not.
It's a solid rotation, but it is nothing near to that. The Dodgers. I mean, all of these guys, there are about 4 or 5 of these guys that when they're healthy, you can make the argument that they're a top 3 pitcher in baseball.
Yes.
Just about all. And so the Mariners don't have that. Yeah. The Dodgers, they have a freaky ceiling. But these injuries are their biggest barrier.
Money will do that. Let's see here. Baker's Cocky Hen says it's the Dodgers and the rest of the league. It's the and the rest of the league is the Savannah Bananas. Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
We know how Randy feels about the Savannah Bananas.
Moist one says, huh? what I was saying was, I think that the Dodgers have a lot of Cy Young guys on this team, and I think that the Mariners have a strong pitching rotation as well.
Yeah.
I'm saying just on paper, looking at it, the depth of talent the Dodgers have amassed in this pitching rotation is kind of crazy. Yes, your Mariners have a very formidable pitching rotation. I did not mean to offend you, moist one. 888-368-1580. Amaya D says, tell Harris the Tennessee baseball team will be volunteering to be bat boys at the College World Series. That's as close as they'll get to the College World Series. Go Devils.
So you're talking, first off, Arizona State's had a resurgence in baseball this year. They've been awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. Second off, you're talking to the defending national champion, Tennessee Volunteers. Okay. We walked in Omaha. We came, we saw, and we conquered. And so I don't want to hear this whole bat boy nonsense here. You know, I'm not having it. I'm not having it.
Not having it.
No.
Nope. All right. 888-368-1580. Let's move on. Diamondbacks again in action tonight. Ryan Nelson gets the nod for the Snakes against Admiral Yamamoto.
Oh man,
this will be the tough one. This is the one that you're hoping that you get a win. If the Diamondbacks get a win here, they could sweep the series. But this is the one that the Dodgers are going to go all out for.
This is the one steady force the Dodgers have had in their bullpen.
I'm a guy that just believes play the game that you have today. Play today's game.
So
don't look ahead.
Randy.
All right, let's move on to some more NBA news. According to Yahoo Sports, the NBA announced its all rookie teams on Tuesday.
Okay.
Hawks forward Zachary Riceacre, Reese Archer, Reese Archer,
Riche. He's French.
Sorry, what?
He's
Is
French.
it Riche or Riche?
No, you're right. Riche.
Riche.
Exactly.
Randy, I think whenever you say his name 3 times in a row, in the mirror pops out a little croissant.
Oh,
that's how his name.
I popped out a little croissant just before he came on the air.
And then a lit
Grizzlies teammate Jalen Wells,
grind, baby,
joining Spurs Rookie of the Year.
That's right.
Stephon Castle on the first team. What do you guys think about this
former Milwaukee
rookie
great
team?
Future Milwaukee great, Stephon Castle.
Former Milwaukee great.
Future Milwaukee great. He's going to be in the trade for Giannis.
Yeah, he could be.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
As far as the rookie, look, it's fine. I don't think that. I mean, do
you guys agree with this?
Well, the glaring one that you wish that is a glaring omission, but understandably so, is Wemby. You know, Wemby would normally be on this team.
I don't think he's on an all rookie team, is he?
What about LeBron? He's getting undersold.
Should LeBron be on the all?
I think LeBron should.
There's no Wemby like talent on this team. I mean, like
Wemby like talent.
Yes, I mean, like Stephon is probably the best one on here. Riche had
Riceacre. You mean?
No, I know it's not. I know it's not right.
Riceacre. Yeah,
it's not Riceacre.
Yeah.
No, it's close though.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, I think at best any of these guys are probably like in an ideal NBA world, if they're your third best player, then you're a championship contender.
Do you think these guys with the NBA accolades that have been handed down today on the all rookie team, do you think they are actually going to go in and make some sort of impact on their teams, their respective teams?
Again, the biggest impact, I think, is Stephon Castle is probably the key chip in a Giannis acquisition
or Jalen Wells
on the part
of. Are we talking
the,
about championship? Because you guys say you youngsters call it championship.
We do call it chips. Yes.
Are we talking about some sort
Frito,
of a championship here?
It's pretty ridiculous, Randy.
It is ridiculous. And I wish you guys would get on board with this. All right. Well,
but yeah,
I
think that the biggest emphasis, at least currently, is going to be Stephon Castle as the piece that the entire package for Giannis will be curated around. That's about where the most impact, at least for now, that we'll see.
This is the worst Rookie of the Year race probably in my whole lifetime.
Really?
Yep, I would say. I would say it's probably the
best one was
most underwhelming.
The best one was the oh my gosh, why am I missing it? The Chet one, the one that Chet eventually won. Oh my gosh, it was against
Chet Filibuster.
No, Chet
no,
Holmgren.
his name's
I think
Chet
it was
Holmgren.
Chet.
Holmgren.
Wasn't it Chet and Wemby?
Chet
Was it Chet and
Holmgren. I
Wemby?
thought he was the
What about-
Packers
what about-
coach.
That was a pretty good one.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying that was the best one.
Yeah, that was
the
a
best.
really good one.
coach.
Yeah, or like Ben Simmons and Donovan Mitchell.
Ben Simmons, Donovan Mitchell. That was a great rookie running. Yeah,
Ben
no, this
Simmons?
year
LeBron and Melo back in the way day.
that was
could be one.
That wasn't even
How does this always get back to LeBron? Let's take a break. When we come back, we got some more NBA to talk about, some NHL stuff to talk about, maybe some NFL. The owners are meeting. What the hell's happening at those owner meetings? And of course, your text on the text line at 888-368-1580. It's a Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Miss any part of the Daily Blender? Download the free podcast at 1580thefanatic.com.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
My name is Mary Grace. There are a few misconceptions about Alzheimer's. It's not just memory loss. It's the loss of mobility, the risk of falling.
For more information, contact the Alzheimer's Association at alz.org, sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
It's back. The third annual Fire and Fairways Charity Golf Tournament presented by Kasai Japanese Steakhouse. It's Monday, June 2nd at Biltmore Golf Club. This year, supporting Alice Cooper's Solid Rock Teen Centers. Early entry is just $175 and includes goodie bag, raffle tickets, plus a fabulous after golf celebration, lunch buffet, and drinks at Kasai Japanese Steakhouse in Scottsdale. You don't golf? Well, then join us at the celebration for just $75. Sign up today. Go to KasaiFireandFairways.com. That's KasaiFireandFairways.com.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
You've been putting back a few, and a few becomes a few too many. For a moment, you think of calling for a ride, but nah, you live nearby. What's the worst that could happen? You get pulled over. Your insurance goes up. You lose your license. You total your car. You kill someone. The results of driving drunk are tragic. That's why law enforcement is out there looking for impaired drivers to save lives. So if you think you're okay to drive after a few drinks, think again. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
Your home has gone way up in value, but have you taken advantage of it? This is Rob Canier with a phenomenal opportunity to tap into some of your home equity, earning tax-free income and eliminating your mortgage payment while staying in your home as long as you want. With home prices leveling off, don't wait to learn more about the new reverse mortgage. This is a safe and proven money-saving and tax-free income opportunity for homeowners age 62 and older. Call me, Reverse Rob, and learn more today at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
My name is Mary Grace. Early diagnosis is key, but make no mistake, it is a devastating disease.
For more information, contact us at alz.org or through the 24/7 helpline at 800-272-3900, sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
The Rich Eisen Show. The question involving the Philadelphia Eagles is who is standing in their way of repeating? It's the schedule. The Philadelphia Eagles will face 7 of the top 10 scoring offenses from last season. They will face 6 of the top 7 scoring defenses from last season. They have 11 games against 2024 playoff teams. My goodness.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at 9 a.m. on 1580, The Fanatic.
It's the Daily Blender on 1580 99.3, The Fanatic. We're headed for 6 o'clock tonight. Jeffrey O'Brien out today. He was up late writing Whiskey Wisdom. We all know what happens when he does that. Jonesy on the text line at 888-368-1580 says, if you're a bettor, hammer the Dodgers tonight. Snakes haven't won back-to-back games during a series in weeks. This means that the Snakes will win the series finale, though, because they also haven't lost back-to-back games in a series in a while.
Well, I'd love to know what the odds that you're getting for this. Because, you know, the Dodgers, they got Yamamoto pitching. They're the obvious favorite. The Diamondbacks have Ryan Nelson, who is usually not a part of their 5-man rotation, but is at the moment. And so I'd love to see what the odds are. And I'm going to look at those right now.
Can we be honest?
And pull them up.
It feels like the Diamondbacks should
I'd
win
rather
these
be
games.
honest.
Yeah, the Diamondbacks should win these games because this feels like the time. I know it's early in the season, but this feels like the time that the Dodgers are at their weakest. Like I feel like later on in the season, you have to assume that health will take form, and you've already taken a series off of them earlier. I'm sorry, you split the series earlier. You need to take this series so that way you have an advantage there. If you can't beat the Dodgers now, if you can't win the series now, what hope do you have later on in the season or even the postseason should you meet them? Right now is where they will be at their weakest. They have an actual weakness that you can attack in the form of pitching in their bullpen. Right now, if the Arizona Diamondbacks are who many people across the valley have stated that they are, they should be attacking this Dodgers team and get their licks in now while they can.
I think you're 100% right, Phil. I don't feel afraid of the Diamondbacks playing the Dodgers. I feel a bit tentative about Ryan Nelson getting the nod tonight. But what are you going to do? I mean, Torey Lovullo is trying. He's ticklish around this bullpen. Obviously, he's ticklish about the starting rotation. Zach Gallen is not performing up to what we expected him to. Merrill Kelly's up and down. A bit on a roller coaster. The only positive in this Diamondback starting rotation has been Brandon Pfaadt. Corbin Burns has been hurt already, and we don't know what he's looking like. Eduardo Rodriguez, not the sharpest of pitchers in this rotation.
No.
So it feels like that maybe Lovullo is getting maybe happy feet. As quarterbacks that get hit a lot in the NFL, they develop this happy feet thing where they can't settle down and just put a starter out there. And I think Lovullo's doing the same by putting Ryan Nelson out there. Somebody that the Dodgers aren't expecting, somebody that might change this up and try to steal a win, maybe, perhaps. I don't know. But it seems like that's what Torey Lovullo is trying to get up to. Let me get to the text line here. Okay. 888-368-1580. Hefty Lefty says, Philly fans only threw batteries? Step your game up. Sincerely, European soccer fans. They throw flares at people. Well, I mean,
I don't think at that point it's not flares. It's shooting.
Number one Rattlers fan on the text line says there was a minor team that once tried giving the relievers the start 1 to 2 innings and finishing last 6 innings with starters. It went just okay. This was per what Harris asked.
Per what I asked.
I'm not sure. There's some of the texts today are puzzling.
Really? Yeah. Oh, okay.
Moist One says, I heard Phil and Harris dabbling too much on the hypotheticals of health and potential that they didn't make any sense by saying the Dodgers rotation could all be top 3 pitchers in the league. Kershaw and Snell have the Cy Young Awards. Kershaw is way past his prime, and he isn't even cracking the rotation without injury. Snell is still really good, but with injuries seems to always be, take a good chunk of the starts. I
think there was a misunderstanding. We didn't say top 3 across all pitchers, top 3 for any rotation, meaning that any rotation you go down the line, every single pitcher that the Dodgers have would make a starting 3-man rotation at any team. That's what we were saying. Not top 3 for the entirety of the sport. Obviously not, but yes.
I'm with Phil.
Diamondbacks dude says, you know what's ridiculous? Harris Hicks and his love for the Dodgers and their fans. This is an atrocity.
The fourth dimension's turned on me. And
Fourth
first
dimension,
up, I'm
bringing out the ridic. I like it.
I'm not even a Dodgers fan. First off, I just I see that I have a lot in common with some of their fans. As growing up a Tennessee fan of the beloved SEC, it just means more.
Look, if you're going to be a Dodger fan, Triple H,
I'm not going to be a Dodger fan. Let me say that I have
ship you off to LA and let you work in LA radio.
See, I'm not Ralph. I have no affiliation with the city of Los Angeles whatsoever. As a matter of fact, I'm far from it. I'm not just going to become a Seahawks fan out of the blue. I'm not that type of guy. It takes a lot. You know, I got to feel it. I got to feel a tribalism about it.
It takes a village.
It takes a village, Randy. And I don't have that when it comes to the Dodgers. Fourth dimension. I'm not a Dodgers fan. You don't have to worry about that.
Oh, hey, Harris, there was a car out in the parking lot that had like nothing but Dodgers paraphernalia on it. It said Harris loves the Dodgers. Was that you?
Wow. You must have seen Ralph's car. I wonder he must have pulled up.
All right, let's move on to some NFL news. We've been talking a lot of baseball today. We've talked a little NBA. The NFL owners have been busy in their meetings, and they've come up with a proposal for reseeding the NFL. Not that the NFL needs to grow grass or new players. Reseeding, as in playoff reseeding. I think fourth dimension what I'm talking about. Explain a little bit, Triple H, about this proposal.
Yeah, so in the second round of the playoffs, not the wild card round, after the wild card, teams will no longer be seeded based on this proposal by seed or by who won the division. They will be seeded by record. So the playoffs this year would have looked like this. The Lions were the 1 seed. They would be hosting the 4-seeded Rams, and the Eagles would be hosting the Commanders instead of Lions versus Commanders and Eagles versus Rams. It would have been different. Now, guys, this is the interesting caveat of this. Take a guess who proposed this. Take a guess what team proposed this.
The Lions?
The Detroit Lions.
Yeah. Well, the Detroit Lions, I would have thought it would have been the Vikings.
Oh, well, yeah.
The Vikings weren't mentioned in
One
here.
of the Lions.
Try to keep up, Phil.
Yeah, Phil, come on. Oh, Phil. But anyway, the Lions were the ones that proposed this, and they would have played the Rams instead of the Commanders. So I feel like there's some bias involved. I was going to say collusion, perhaps.
Well, collusion, but perhaps is there? Maybe the Detroit Lions are sad, maybe a bit bothered by the fact that they had to play a really tough Commanders team and got beat by them. Meanwhile, the Eagles had a quote unquote easier game against the Rams with their situations there.
I don't know.
The
That's
Eagles kind of coasted.
Look, I feel like the NFL is so perfect in a lot of ways, and that's not even me just kissing booties and making.
No, you're
making
right.
love
Everything it touches turns to gold.
Yes, and
I refuse to kiss anybody's booty except for Miss Kim, perhaps.
As well, you should. As well, you should.
Yeah.
Well said, Rand.
But I think one of the reasons why is that if you were to start out a sport, I feel like college sports had this wrong for so long because for the longest time we had the BCS thing where it's just the best two in the entire nation. Well, when you're looking at a field that vast and wide, the best two is very much subjective. When we got to 4 even, it still felt like, that's pretty hard to gauge the top 4. Now we're going to the top 6. We're looking at like possibly top 12 eventually. It's like, okay, now we're getting a bit ridiculous when we get to 12 because I don't think that there's 12 actual teams.
Thank you, Phil.
So whenever we go,
preaching to the choir.
There we go. And so whenever we're going to the NFL, I feel that part of what makes it acceptable that you're having this many playoff teams and this deep of a field, which does not always produce the best champion, right? Like you look at the New York Giants winning against the undefeated Patriots. I think to a man, we can all say the Patriots were probably the better team. And if you
they were the better team until they lost the game
entirely. Yes. But so if you were to put this into a computer, if you were to put it into a simulation, if you were to have a time machine,
Randy hates that.
Oh yeah.
Randy's going to blow up.
I'm sure. 80 times out of 100, the Patriots win that game. We lived in the reality where one of the 20 times that the Giants win that game, they did. And so they were better that day. They won the game. So be it. However, I think that one way to at least make good on the promise that is the regular season, to have it have meaning, which the NFL has done splendidly for the entire
fantastic, better than every other sport by far.
By far.
Yeah.
Part of the reason why it has so much validity and part of the reason why one of the highlights of last season was a regular season game in week 17, Detroit Lions hosting the Minnesota Vikings. Why that mattered so much was because of this playoff seeding.
Yep.
Now, I think that they have it right, as well do many other playoff and many other sports, where if you win your division, that should matter for something. That should be goal number 1 of the entirety of the season. And now the fact that they went into like what feels to be some sort of a universal compromise of saying, hey, you know what? Like, let's not just have two teams play, but like, let's widen the field. Okay, well, if we're going to compromise, let's have the division winners host a game. That feels like a natural compromise. If you go to a further step, if you take that next step of saying that let's reseed it according to schedule, well, shoot. I mean, it kind of defeats the purpose of and specialty that is there to why these divisional rivalries matter so much and have maintained their relevance far more so than Can you name a single division from top to bottom in the NBA? No. Can you name, like, the closest you can get is to college, where the divisions and the conferences matter, because if you win your conference, you get an automatic bid.
I feel like
why it matters.
I could name a division if I could look it up on the computer. Hell
that,
yeah, I could
that
look it up.
certainly helps. Yes, it does.
Harris, what was the term you heard me use earlier on in the show? Something to do with fiddling. It was.
Was it
fiddle flacking?
No,
Was
it
it
wasn't. It wasn't ridic.
Was it
fiddle
fluid?
ridic?
Was it fluid
No,
sex?
fiddle farting.
Oh, fiddle farting.
Why
Fiddle
do
farting.
we feel like we need to keep fiddle farting around with things that have been fine?
That's
for
what I'm going to
years,
name my solo show, by
just
the way.
because very nice.
Yeah, fiddle
I'll let you
farting
have
with
fiddle
Triple H.
farting.
Yep.
Yeah, Triple H fiddle fart. Yeah,
Fiddle farts with the best of them. That is
Boo-hoo, Lions! You had a bunch
That's
of
fantastic.
defensive injuries, and you lost to a damn good team
Right.
in the Commanders. Boo-hoo!
Amen.
That's the way it is. And boo-hoo, Lions! The Eagles got a quote-unquote easier game against the Anaheim Orange County Rams of Los Angeles at SoFi Stadium. Boo-hoo! Why do we have to keep fiddly farting around, trying to make things different all the time so that it can work in our favor? This was last season, Detroit. This is not this season. Why don't we play this season and see how it turns out? And go out there and win the games. And you know what? Congratulations on a great season last year. You just finally kind of ran out of gas and ran out of manpower. That's just what it was. That's the bottom line. Why do we have to fiddle fart around to make it easier for the Lions to go all the way to a Super Bowl? I don't see why.
I completely agree. Like nothing about this feels good. I mean, I just leave it as is. They keep expanding and they keep getting greedy and they keep trying to re-maneuver this and re-maneuver that. Unless it's the actual.
It's called fiddle farting, Phil.
Yes, stop
We'll
fiddle
call it
farting
fiddle farting.
all around.
Yeah,
You're fiddle
yeah.
farting and it
Don't-
stinks. I tell you.
It does, because
Stink.
farts stink, and fiddle farting stinks even more. 888-368-1580. Baker's Cocky Hen says, let's change things up. Playoff games are played on ice or in 6 inches of water. Home team chooses. Or they play all games internationally. See what I mean? Fiddle farting. See what I'm saying? It would be fiddle farting. Why do we have to do this? All right, 888-368-1580. Real quick, before we go to a break here.
Okay. Yes.
Harris, tell me about this quote you have on the paper in front of me. Let me say it's from Marvin Harrison. Is this junior or senior?
Junior.
All right. Go ahead and explain yourself before we go to break.
So Marvin Harrison had a quote, and I wanted to see if you guys agreed with it. He said, quote, I'm very confident what we have offensively from top to bottom, quarterback, line, skill positions. We have everything we need to go out there and accomplish the goals that we have. And by the way, he specified the goals is to make the playoffs. Do we
All
think
right.
that the Cardinal and Marvin Harrison is right?
Yeah.
And the Cardinals are going to make the playoffs.
Well, I feel I already is going to disagree because the Broncos are going to win everything this year. So
They are the barometer. They are the
Yeah,
barometer
they-
of the league.
Oh, just wait till you see Cam
damn
Ward,
barometer.
Phil, on
Absolutely.
a Thursday night with 4 million people watching. Oh, come on
I
now.
was going to say it's
Look,
probably going to be 1 million.
without
It'll get some
me
WNBA
picking,
numbers.
which I already made my picks on here.
Yes,
But
you
these are facts, are they not, Harris? The win total is predicted under 8.5 games. That's at -110. Is that correct? Is that what you looked up?
That is correct. The win total is at 8.5. That's what Vegas
Okay.
is projecting.
And-
So right in the
and
middle of
then-
the line.
And for the Cardinals to make the playoffs, it's +140. Is that what you looked up?
That is correct, Mr. White. You're on a roll.
And to win the division, it's plus 575. And to win the conference, it's plus 3,000. Is that what I see here?
So basically, the sports books think the Cardinals have like a 44% chance to make the playoffs, 43% chance, so right near 50%.
I would give them a 44 to 50% chance of making the playoffs this season. Damn right I would. Who wouldn't?
It's interesting.
Can I raise
Other
my
than
hand?
Phil.
Can I raise my hand right now?
Other than, no,
Teacher,
you stay
pick
out
me.
of this, Phil.
Pick me, please. Pretty please.
Well, I mean, why not us? Why not us?
Well, first of all, they were wrong about the line. I Marvin Harrison, they may have the offensive pieces. I like James Conner. He's solid. Marvin Harrison Jr., if he blossoms into the player that we all thought he would be, just immediately unpackage.
Flourish like a flower in the field?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yes, if he looks more Malik Neighbors than, I don't know, Joseph Blackman next year, in a year two renaissance, then maybe they do have all the pieces there. But what they didn't fully address, that I don't know if it just gets better with just experience another year in. I didn't feel like their line was too young anyways, but whatever. Their line does not seem to handle pressure well. And now, given the mobility of their quarterback, Kyler Murray.
You mean their offensive?
Their offensive line, yes,
Okay.
yes,
All right.
yes. I think that, you have one of the better quarterbacks to deal with constant pressure. With how quick and mobile he is, but you certainly don't want to rely on that for an entire season. Yeah, mobile, yes.
Never heard anyone
not
say
Alabama, just the ability
Not
that
the-
one
the
has.
capital.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I do not feel like they have the requisite talent. I do not feel that they have even a top half of the league coach. I feel like he's middling at best. I don't feel like their defense has
Wow.
anyone special per se.
What?
And their division.
Wait a minute, what?
Their division.
You said their defense has nobody
Randy's
special?
about to self-destruct.
Yeah.
It's
Oh my
going to
God,
happen.
Phil.
I thought Randy was going to self-destruct when
Oh
you
my
started
God.
talking about the computers.
I-
I could just see him over there. Just his face was getting red.
Just-
Smoke
yeah,
coming out of the ears.
That's the problem.
And with the
I
40
can see it. Randy, welcome to Gen Z and
Mm.
millennials.
If
Go
the,
ahead,
40,
Phil,
if the
I'm sorry.
49ers have what everybody agrees to be one of the two easiest schedules, you're already looking for second in division, and that's probably going over to the Rams. I don't see
Or the Seahawks.
or the Seahawks even. I'll even go there. I do not see an outcome that this does not end in Jonathan Gannon being fired and Kyler Murray being traded in the offseason.
Oh, well, okay.
Hey,
Well,
by the way, Phil,
I'm sorry, we're up against the break. Let
Oh.
me do this. Baker's Cocky Hen says, farting in a fiddle sounds better than it smells. No, it's fiddle farting. Fiddle farting, Baker's Cocky Hen.
So the fiddle itself
Fiddle
is fine.
farting. That's when you're messing around. You're fiddle farting around with the NFL matchups. You see what I mean? Moist One says, Justin Blackman is a crazy comparison, man. Ha 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 ha. I adore you, Phil. Listen to Italy's Euro song. It's beautiful. Maybe it could be our song.
Oh.
Can you say the name of that guy? Who said that again? Randy?
No, just a texter. He hasn't gotten a name yet.
The moist one. The moist one.
Oh, it was the moist one. I love it.
The moist one said.
Oh, moist one. I see.
Well, listen, that's going to wrap up segment 2 in the final hour of the Daily Blender. We're late for a break. When we come back on this date in Big George's sports history, if he sent it to me, which I don't think he did.
Did he not?
I don't think he did.
Uh-oh.
Big George,
George
must
is
have a big case going on.
Uh-oh.
Anyway, it's the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
The Daily Blender is streamed live on YouTube. Search 1580 The Fanatic to watch.
Why'd I go to the doctor? My heart would race just taking my son to practice. It didn't feel right. So I got checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
The coolest summer starts at Target with up to 50% off select Sun Squad pool and outdoor toys and 20% off select favorite day treats with Target Circle. Discover inflatable pools and outdoor toys that'll surely make a big splash this season while you keep it cool and sweet with the most shareable cookies and frozen snacks under the sun. Hurry! Now through Memorial Day, save up to 50% on select Sun Squad toys and 20% on select favorite day treats with Target Circle only at Target. Restrictions apply.
My pain is considerable, but that prescription is dangerous. The side effects of my medicine are worse than my condition.
I'm in recovery. I can't take those pills.
When faced with a health crisis, you shouldn't have to choose between risks. Choose natural healing. At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our naturopathic doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. Our naturopathic doctors can restore pain-free joint function and restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves immediate physical symptoms without having you take a bunch of pills. If traditional medicines aren't working, don't you think it's time to start feeling like yourself again? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
This Memorial Day, turn up the heat with the Home Depot. Find the perfect grill and patio set to keep the cookouts coming all season long. Grill up a feast with the Next Grill 4-burner gas grill, only $229. And complete your space with the stylish Glen Ridge Falls 7-piece dining set, now on special buy for just $499 with free delivery. Take your Memorial Day cookout to the next level all summer long with the Home Depot. See homedepot.com/delivery for more details.
1580, The Fanatic.
You're damn right. It's a Tuesday, Taco Tuesday here on the Daily Blender. About 13 minutes away from goodbye time.
Randy, if the game ends right now,
yeah,
the Minnesota Timberwolves would take game one, and you would be one step closer to your series prediction
I
coming
feel
true.
it, though, Phil, even though I can't see you, you're taunting me.
Well, no,
I feel as though you're taunting.
Minnesota started the game at an 8-0 run, 8-0 in Oklahoma City.
All right,
Statement.
888-368-1580. That's Filthy Phil. He's no longer Phil the Thrill. He's back to Filthy.
Filthy Phil.
Triple H and Randy.
That's right.
Okay. Big George says, Randy, I sent you on this date in Big George's sports history at 1:13 a.m.
Whoa!
Oh,
That is
Big
an
George.
That is an early Big George.
Oh, a little a you up text from Big George, perhaps.
Oh, look at that big message.
Wonder what else is in that message.
Oh, at 1:20.
Yeah,
I'm
Filthy
sorry, Big George,
surprise.
you're wrong. It was 1:20 a.m.
Oh, Big George. You're a lawyer. Supposed to have this down.
facts of
thank
this
you, Big
case.
George.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
All right. So Charles Woodson.
Okay.
Charles Woodson. Maybe you guys heard or not. I don't know. Charles Woodson has bought a 0.1% stake of the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, how much for $5?
Like 200 million, like for 1.1. I mean, these NFL evaluations.
Yeah,
are
no,
great.
that's true. That's true. 200.
In the Cleveland Browns social media tweet, or I'm sorry, X. What do you call these things? I'm not on the social medias.
You can really kind of just call it whatever. I mean, Bill Belichick made it fun to even call it like Insta,
Snap
X.
face is
Snap
what
face.
Jeffrey calls it. Snap face is a typical one. Insta face. He likes that one.
The former player officially joined the ladder of the world of NFL ownership. Woodson purchased a 0.1% stake in the Cleveland Browns, something that was approved at the league meetings in Minneapolis on Tuesday. The deal will reportedly see Woodson pay a trivial $5 million to Browns owner Jimmy Haslam, which will value the Browns at $5 billion.
I'm surprised that he didn't get in with the Raiders. Obviously, the Packers, there's a wait list to get onto that ownership.
Oh,
group.
100%.
Yeah, so and there's no way to wiggle your way in that one.
Yeah.
But the Raiders was the other one that he cut his bones in. He was drafted with the Raiders, ended his career with the Raiders. The Browns kind of feels like just off the wall. I'm trying to think if
is Woodson a former Brown?
No,
not to my
Raiders,
What?
Raiders and
Is-
Packers.
is
Raiders and Packers
Is he
exclusively,
is
right?
he from Cleveland?
I
There
don't
must be
think
a connection
so.
there.
One of you two guys need to tickle the ivories there and
Because
give me a heads
you know
up
what this,
on this
what
because
this,
what, is it because he only has $5 million?
He's from Fremont, Ohio. So
he's
he is from
So he's a
Ohio.
Brown. So he's probably a long time
Browns fan then, huh?
Potentially.
Possibly.
I took the Browns to the Super Bowl just before I got on the air today.
Is that so?
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking at the
Anyway.
distance from Cleveland to Fremont. Oh, it's only 90 miles. So it's
Oh,
right.
well, there you go.
He's from right outside Cleveland. He shouldn't have won that Heisman, by the way.
According to The Athletic, the deal comes with strings attached. As with Brady, Woodson, who is also a partner with Fox Sports, he's on the air with the Fox NFL Kickoff as an analyst. He cannot visit other team facilities. He's prohibited from other teams' practices, not allowed to participate in production meetings with coaches, players, and executives of any team whose game he's calling.
Interesting. You know, I was like, how are they going to do this? But then I realized Tom Brady's been doing this. Doesn't he have some ownership stake with the Raiders?
Yes, he does.
He
and
does,
that,
yeah.
And that prevents him from ever critiquing the refs. And I feel like that is to the detriment of the broadcast.
It is.
I'm surprised but I think that there is an allowance that you give the greatest of all time who brings you brand appeal in Tom Brady that I don't think Charles Woodson had the leverage to do this. Now, granted, if you can buy into the NFL ownership, you do. I hope that it feels like this is something of a trend that I certainly hope ends, because once we start to getting into crushing free speech of like being able to, especially critique of the product of the game, which I don't need it to get to Draymond Green territory where he's openly bashing the All-Star game while broadcasting the All-Star game, while being paid to promote the All-Star game. Where it's like,
I kind of love that. I'm going to be honest.
It's funny, but also it's kind of disparaging to where if you think about the overall health of the NBA, you're like, well, maybe I'd rather get a guy who maybe just naturally is enthused. I mean, I don't need to pay them to be enthused. Like they just, like Reggie Miller feels like he's excited to exist in life. So, I mean, you just get him to be on the, regardless. I don't think purposefully giving restrictions and purposefully cutting down the line to where you're saying, all right, you cannot cross this, to where all you can say on a broadcast is that the ball was completed, the pass was completed or incomplete.
Yeah.
And that's it. I don't think that makes for good entertainment, nor do I think that makes for good critique.
I kind of understand, but here's the situation. If you're going to be a broadcaster, you can't have ownership stake in any NFL team because you can't do your job effectively.
Conflict of interest. Potentially, you could say as well.
You cannot do your job effectively, and it is a conflict of interest. So therefore, Tom Brady, sorry, you can't be a Raiders owner. Sorry, Woodson,
Charles
Woodburn, Woodhead. What the hell's his name?
Woody Harrelson. No, Charles.
You cannot
Danny
be
Woodhead.
Owner of the Browns, no matter how bad they are and how much they need the money.
Yep, because Randy allows it. Randy doesn't allow it.
Baker's Cocky Hens says, I need some. All right, no, he says, Harris hating on the Browns, not understanding their fan base is larger than Tennessee's college and pro teams put together.
First off, I have never hated on the Cleveland Browns fan base. I respect the Cleveland Browns fan base.
The fact that you can take that year in and year out
and just sit there and be loyal. I mean, come on. It's like getting punched in the balls every day when you wake up and then
once a week.
And then taking it and just getting back up with a big old smile on your face. That's who Browns fans are. So I respect the Browns fan base. The team, on the other hand, and the franchise and what they've been lately, not a healthy amount of respect.
No.
Now, I love their history, but their current day, come on, they operate.
Listen, I've got a good friend who grew up in Cleveland, is a diehard Cleveland fan.
Yeah.
He's ashamed at what's happened with the Browns as well.
Yeah.
He still loves his Browns team, but he's
yeah.
ashamed at what they've done and how they have handled this situation.
The Cleveland Browns go through quarterbacks like the Kardashians do boyfriends. That's exactly what they do.
And with that, it's time for On This Date in Big George's Sports History. Back in the year 1915, Pittsburgh Pirates player manager Freddie Clark filed for the patent for flip-down sunglasses designed for use in the outfield. In addition to the sunglasses, which he believed would be good for motorists too, end quote. The future Hall of Famer also created what would be issued as patents for sliding pads, mechanical method of positioning the Tarlequin, What the hell is a Tarlequin?
Tarlequin.
I don't have my glasses on. I don't know. Hey, he did a lot. Flip
Oh.
down sunglasses on this date. Big Georgia sports history.
Flip down sunglasses.
Do you guys remember the flip down sunglasses?
No. Flip down sunglasses.
Oh, they
I'll
had
have to
these
look 'em up.
sunglasses back in the day. The baseball players would wear under the brim of their hat. They would be under the brim of their hat.
Oh, these are
and
kind
when
of
the
making
ball-
a comeback.
When the ball would be hit, they weren't like today where they have these big giant Oakley mirrored looking things. They were just these little things that on like an elastic. I had some back in the day.
Oh, you
and they-
definitely did.
Oh, they under the
Oh,
brim of the
Randy.
cap, and then the ball would go up, and just before he gets in the sun, you flip those babies down.
Oh yeah.
You can see the ball and track it
Raw
right into
sex
your glove.
appeal.
Oh yeah, it was hot. And then when you're done,
Randy
and you,
looking
and you throw
handsome.
the ball back in, flip those bad boys back up.
It was actually a gameplay strategy because when you
Yeah.
oozed that
Oh,
much
yeah.
raw sex appeal, the batter was
Listen.
distracted.
Oh,
by looking at Big
100%.
Sexy in the
Listen,
back.
Yeah,
I know-
looking at
look,
him,
I
just
know how to
eyeing
bring
him,
it.
and then it comes right down the middle.
You guys know me, and I know you. But listen, I could bring the sexy back in the day.
Oh,
I
that's
could,
one-
I could bring it back in the day.
Randy's
I
a
had
player who never struck out.
mustache right here.
Oh, like my mustache?
Yeah, well,
Guys,
yeah,
you
yeah.
take a look at this stash. You know, a lot of people didn't think I could grow this.
Yeah.
Here
So
we
was this?
are.
Did you get
Oh, yeah.
jealous at the wedding, or no? Sorry, at the graduation, and you just saw what the temperature of the room was, and you grew one out, or am I late to this party?
So the
Nah.
old lady friend, the old ball and chain, wants me to keep
Wow,
growing
you
it out. How about
Started
that?
calling her the ball and chain. All right.
What can I say?
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, this edition of the Daily Blender has come to an end. Thank goodness. Thank you, Fourth Dimension, for showing up on the text line.
Thank you.
And until
Yes.
tomorrow, about 21 hours from now, we will see you again at 3 o'clock over the same radio infrastructure
I'll
that's
go
in
bring
place right
Jeffrey
now.
some water. He's going to
Yeah.
need to rehydrate after today.
Phil,
Yeah.
thanks for coming in today, man.
Oh, of
Appreciate you.
course. My pleasure.
And Harris, I don't care what they say. You're still Triple H to me. If for Harris and Phil, this is Randy White saying, so long, everybody.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV wins.
What are you going to take the RV to the mountains or go pick up your dry cleaning? RV wins. Are we cleaning the gutters or taking the RV camping? RV wins. Are we getting a new passport or